See?
I was literally waiting for Justin to basically come back with the camera and everything.
I'm still here.
No, I know you're still here. You're in a wheelchair, sweetie.
He could have rolled away.
Bad.
Hey,
Bad.
This for pre-show.
For a moment there, I thought you were Stephen Hawking with the ha, 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 ha.
Yes! Man, how about that? Jesus. How about that Cobra Kai trailer? Oh my god, I'm so pumped for season 4.
Oh, I can't wait for the 31st. Hey, reminder, Expanse is this week, right?
The final season, yes.
So wait a minute, that's tonight. It's tonight.
Is it tonight? I thought it was next week.
Friday? Is it this Friday or next Friday?
It's next Friday because it comes at the same time as The Witcher. Witcher season 2 drops next Friday.
Ooh, we're gonna have.
Okay, let me get this out of the way right now. The Witcher is the only reason I have any sort of hope for a live action The Legend of Zelda from Netflix.
No, I'm with Sun on that one. I really am. Damn it, Kurt.
Especially what after just happened to Bebop. So.
Well, we all saw that coming.
I did see coming.
It's not even that. It's not even that. The fact of the matter is that, like, they're literally giving Death Note a new season. Death Note a new season. Yeah, they're giving Death Note a new season.
How?
They've canceled and won't give a new season to anything to Bebop. How? Because it performed better.
It did.
Not because people were saying it's horrible, but because people were actually watching it, unlike Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop clocked in 74 million hours in its first week. That was a big time release for them, but it did drop. I saw the report; it dropped more than half the next couple of weeks. So, I mean, that was like to be expected. I mean, honestly, Bebop ended its season 1 like it was done. Like it ended like it was a one and done. But on your point, son, about Witcher giving hope for Legend of Zelda series, another series I liked was Cursed, and that gave me hope also. The whole pulling that whole, like, the way they did Cursed, the way they did Witcher, they can do it.
Absolutely.
It's just like,
I mean, absolutely they can do it. I've seen fucking fan productions of the Legend of Zelda stuff that are amazing. Imagine if they had Netflix fucking money to do shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and we're talking about fan things that involve shit like wizard robes from The Legend of Zelda and stuff. Yeah. So you're talking CGI animation on top of shit. It's like, dude.
And with Zelda, the way they did the video games and the way the video games are, they could take any video game and make a series or movie out of it. Like Ocarina of Time, I think would be the best place to start, and then go from there. But it's just up to them.
I think it's probably going to. I think they're probably going to take a page from in between games, like explaining, like set it in a time period where you still have a Link and a Zelda, but it's not a game. It's not one of the games, and it kind of like it would basically explain how we got from Ocarina of Time to what you see in Breath of the Wild, where there are still elements of Ocarina of Time's Castle Town and the Temple of Time and all that stuff, but it's literally on a huge fucking rock in the middle of everything. And
that's how Breath of the Wild cinematic was. Like that, they were just in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's Ocarina of Time's Castle Town. The Temple of Time and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's Ocarina of Time's Castle Town.
Yeah, on damn it, the plateau. Jesus.
Yeah, the Great Plateau.
Yeah, I was there.
So it's like, yeah, no, that'll be very interesting. Are we all ready?
I do believe so.
I think we are. Let's see here.
I need to rage about disco.
Oh my god, here we go. All right, so it's the same countdown as last week. So because I redid my Windows, I am back on Windows this week. I'm on Windows 11. Everything is fully functional. I'm so happy.
You're on Windows 11?
Yes, I am.
I apologize.
And so far, it's so good. It's doing better than I expected.
I just can't stand all the fucking maintenance.
So let me find the intro, and we will do Mighty Mo.
And welcome to this episode of The Real Super Geeks on this, the 10th of December, 2021. My name is Ross, live, love, play, the eyebrows of doom himself. And I'm joined once again by my lovely array of co-hosts. And I now have admin privileges over this stream, so I have the power!
I suddenly feel this was a mistake.
See, everybody, the way he just said, I have
can
the
kick you now, Justin.
See, the way
Actually-
everybody watching, the way Ross just said that, if you watch this 20 minutes ago when we were getting set up, he said it like He-Man. He just said it like Skeletor. That tells you where he's at.
I can do
Yes.
both.
See, but there's only one of us here that can actually boss Ross around,
Uh-oh.
even with admin privileges.
Well, joining
name
me
is Ray.
once again, the man with the hands on the keyboard, making all the sounds, making all the noise, and all the pretty pictures. It's Justin. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Got a new camera. Waiting on the lighting to come in. Everything's delayed thanks to, Christmas and shopping and all that fun stuff. So eventually I'll have a whole new setup to rock the streams with.
And sitting on the Helm console, it seems.
Well, I'm working on it.
And yes, the only one on the podcast who I allow to boss me around, it's Sunseal. How you doing tonight?
Laser
So
bombardment incoming. So, yeah, this week has been weird. Like we were talking about last week, it's ungodly hot in here in the South. So much so that we're currently under a tornado watch right now.
Same here.
Believe it or not. So,
Matter of
yeah.
fact, I think we're under a watch until let me refresh the page here because I think they updated it to 11 p.m.
So yeah, it gets extremely hot. It rains. It cools off real nice. Gets real cold. I love it. And all of a sudden, it gets ungodly hot again. And
It's
I'm like,
supposed to be 70
Jesus
something
Christ.
up here next week.
it's
Good Lord.
it
Your
is
turn.
it is winter, but it feels like it's fucking Independence Day.
So, like, if I disappear for whatever reason, anything, it's because of this.
I mean, I swear to God, for the past 3 nights, I've literally had to take my headphones off at different points and look out the window and listen to make sure I wasn't hearing cicadas, because I swear to God, I kept hearing them.
I mean, this is what I am about to deal with currently.
So I'm losing my fucking mind. This heat has got me losing my mind.
Well, son, you got to have a mind to lose it.
Thank you, son. And of course, he is our other contrarian. It's Greg. How you doing tonight?
No
Doing good.
other.
Doing good. I am officially done with school for this semester and get to relax until January 12th, so I have a month off from school.
Cool.
And as for me, as you guys noticed last week, I wasn't looking too well. Well, it turns out it kind of swept through the family, and I've been taking care of a sick wife for most of the last 2 weeks. It's been fun. But everyone's on the mend. Nurgle will not sink his teeth in his gifts are rejected, his will denied. That's Warhammer talk. You guys don't know that.
Yes.
Hope everyone is having a good week out there, and let's jump into the topics for tonight. It's going to be a slim show, but that's because we have some big stuff happening this week. First on, of course, is our review of Star Trek Discovery, but also we are going to completely gush and what I have dubbed the Super Geekgasm over the announcements of the Game Awards. And then Sun's going to bring us back down to earth for the latest Actilist, which has expanded to include more than just Activision Blizzard, but also the many misdeeds of other entertainment organizations that you should know about. And of course, we'll wrap things up with our usual What Are We Watching? Followed probably by a little Florida Man, if we're still up for it, if we're still awake at the end of the night. We'll see. Let's get into it. All right. And you gave me a hydrate. I don't have any water on me. I'll have to go back to it, so I'll just have to chug some coffee.
I mean,
You're having buzzing like I poo in The Simpsons.
like technically speaking, it is water. It's just bean water.
Yes, it's just, filtered through ground roasted.
Hey, at least you're not drinking grass water, right?
Yeah, there's that. or it could be a sugar-soaked soft drink.
I mean, like at least it's not grass water, because who wants to drink tea?
Justin, throw up that spoiler warning.
Alrighty. Can't say we didn't warn you, because here's our famous spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Dia, how you doing? Good to see you again, and boop right back at you.
See, we missed a golden opportunity to change it to spoiler alarm.
Well, I mean, I got this saved for your segment.
Shut up alert. Shut up alert.
Anyway, this week on the latest episode of Star Trek Discovery, all is possible. We've got another really busy episode. We've got Ensign Tilly,
Lieutenant
Tilly busting out of her combat zone, her comfort zone, to try and figure out what's wrong with her emotionally.
Let's be honest, it is her combat zone.
Yes, it is.
You're about half right.
Because she's
You're half right.
fighting with herself.
After the mission with the Kawat Malat, Discovery has remained in orbit over Discovery as the Federation is finalizing its agreement with Navarre to include them into the Federation, to return one of the founding members of that organization back to the fold. But there's a wrinkle, as Admiral Vance has found himself come down with a strange stomach bug and must recuse himself from the negotiations. And in his place, Captain Burnham and Captain Saru have been requested, or voluntold, to come stand still, say nothing, and look as official as possible. About what you'd expect from the Federation presidents. And Lieutenant Tilly and Ensign Adira are sent to Starfleet Academy to help out a group of cadets with a little teamwork on a team-building survey. And, of course, things go wrong and their shuttle crashes on an L-class moon and they have to figure out how to work together before they freeze to death. The crew of Discovery is relaxing and enjoying their downtime, but the one person who isn't relaxing is, sadly, Book, who is still dealing with feelings of loss despite the returned memories and brief respite he had after the work with the Vulcan Science Council. And he finally goes to see Dr. Culber to talk it out. And that is the setup. That is the intro to our episode. Michael and Saru find that politics are weighing heavy on the negotiations, and both presidents find themselves bound by the will of the people that they need to hold power, and that they must take a hard line with no recourse and no means of overcoming their impasse. Michael and Saru decide to intervene, find out what's wrong, and broach a way to introduce a compromise without, again, compromising their respective leaders' positions. And I'm saying compromise an awful lot.
Very compromising.
There aren't a lot of synonyms to that word that come to mind. Tilly and Adira struggle to find common ground among the myriad cadets that they're working with, as they come from so widely different backgrounds, and several of them are openly antagonistic. But when a strange octopus creature comes out of the ice and snow to start beating on the shuttlecraft, they need to get the hell out of there, and Tilly rallies the crew to venture out into the ice, where they face peril, lightning, and more sentient ice. Book struggles with his grief. Culver takes an unconventional approach, but finds a breakthrough. Michael and Saru come to the heart of the problem as they discover who among each respective coalition is taking the hard line and tying the hands of their respective leaders. And they propose a compromise, an independent commission that will interface with each of the Federation members to ensure that their individual needs are met, so that the mistakes of the past will not repeat themselves. And the first olive branch is Michael herself, a citizen of Navarre and a member of the Federation, a true
Mary Sue.
best of both worlds, if you'll pardon the expression.
Greg. Remember.
You okay, Greg?
I think he broke him.
No, he's choking on that cookie he just ate when you mentioned it.
That's what you get, Greg.
Both sides agree, and the accord is finally signed. Tilly and crew make it to the top of the ridge, where they hope that their communicators will be able to reach the USS Armstrong that they were supposed to rendezvous with. Tilly bravely distracts the creatures hunting them by leading them in a merry chase across the ice. And they are evacuated in the nick of time, both the ensigns and Tilly, as she's about to get squashed. She is congratulated by Kovic, who is apparently a doctor. It's good to see the return of Kovic, one of the more interesting characters of the far future.
Wait, so Cronenberg's character is a doctor?
Yes.
Oh.
And in congratulating her and commenting how it seems that the Discovery's crew come from an era where they believe anything is possible, he offers her a teaching position at Starfleet Academy, to which an offer to which Tilly is absolutely floored. Adira comes over and hugs her deeply, saying, "Oh, wow, I think I actually made friends. I didn't think it was possible." To which Tilly replies, "Through you, all things are possible." She said the thing. She said the title of the episode. Book and Culber, through much trial and creative methods, find a way for him to express his grief physically, understanding that the uniqueness of his planet is a thing that is lost to him forever, and he must find a way to cope. Booker opens himself to the possibility and begins his step on the long road, and seems to forge a unique connection with Dr. Culber. And in the final act of this episode, Tilly and Burnham meet in the quarters that they used to share. The first time that they've been together in those quarters after Michael's promotion, where they talk at length, and Tilly realizes that she had joined Starfleet both as a need for adventure, but also a rather understandable emotion: spite. She joined Starfleet to spite her mother, to show she could succeed outside of her control and outside of her influence. And she has succeeded, but without the influence of her mother, now long, long past. She realizes she needs to make her own path, and she has decided to accept the teaching position at Starfleet Academy and has decided to leave the Discovery, much to our total collective sorrow. She leaves the ship with many, 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 many hugs and departs on a shuttle with a broad smile on her face. And I will take this moment to note, writers, the writers of Grey's Anatomy, previous writers of Star Trek, and other shows where characters have to be written out. That's how you fucking write people out. You don't have to kill them if they leave the show, Miss Rhymes.
Does anybody remember the send-off for Neelix? That was pretty much the same fucking thing.
Yes, it was, but there was far less hugs when Neelix left.
Well,
he got a Vulcan to dance.
Yes, he did.
He got the Vulcan. He got Tuvok to do the leg thing.
But also, that was the end of the show.
Yes, true.
They didn't, and they also kind of did a weird thing with Kess, where she was kind of, sort of killed off.
No, she was not killed off.
No, she killed everybody else.
She asked Janeway for a shuttle and then left and gave them the gift, the title of the episode, of literally shoving them closer to home.
But then
she comes back like a couple of years later, having spent years alone, and so she's got all that vengeance and shit built up in her head.
Yeah.
So in all actuality, Kess left twice.
I'm just bitter about shows that kill characters when they have to write them off.
I mean, hey, look, Justin's happy. He got his write-off this season.
Yeah, you've been talking about who's going to leave the show.
It wasn't Saru.
Now I understand why I saw a bunch of reactions of people who weren't happy. I understand. I'm sad that Tilly's leaving too, but you know what? Since they came to the 31st century, we lost Nan, we temporarily lost Saru, now we've lost Tilly.
You know what? Now that the levity that Tilly gave us is leaving, perhaps we will get that levity out of Tig Notaro permanently being part of the crew.
Maybe.
We could hope. She hasn't been seen in the show yet.
And Adira is sort of kind of filled the role of Tilly's awkward ensign persona.
She's Wesley Crusher 2.0.
She's better than Wesley.
I mean,
how dare you? No, I'm
the
kidding.
fact that she's a Trill it inherently lends itself to that being a fact. Period.
Adira's not a Trill. Adira is human.
No. She's got the Trill parasite in her.
Yes, the symbiote.
So I mean, she's at least part Trill.
She carries the memories of 6 generations of Trill.
Yeah, so in just about every way, she's better than Wesley.
She's got the young naivete of Wesley, but the shared memories of 7 of 9.
Mm-hmm.
7's better.
Well, that's because you think 7's sexier, and to be honest, she is.
Oh shit!
Thank you, Justin. That was well timed.
No, 7 has the collective knowledge of the Borg. I mean,
No, you don't. No, she doesn't.
No. She has fragments of that knowledge.
She stated specifically she only retains certain knowledge from the Borg. It's vast amounts of knowledge, but it's still only fragments of it. She lost a bunch of it being basically rehumanized.
yeah.
She still had enough where she was the weekly Deus Ex.
Wait for it.
Oh, for our reviews. Why, thank you, Justin, for reminding us.
Oh, no, he's got a button to press. That's what
He's waiting to press a button. I just don't know which one.
Are you waiting for me to give my review so you can press the button? Is that what it is?
Well, let's hear from each of you about what you liked and disliked about the episode. Let's lead off with you, Greg.
Okay. Overall,
Oh, God.
I liked the episode.
Just that indignant voice. Overall, I liked the episode.
But like you guys, I did watch
But-
Star Trek. I did watch Star Trek Discovery. Good show.
Here it comes.
Here are the similarities.
Let him talk, damn it.
So I did watch Good Shepherd. So Tilly is Janeway in this episode. The cadets are the wayward crew that Janeway has in Voyager. They take them both on an away mission to explore a new life or planet. They then get into a very bad situation in which they have to work together in order to get out of it. And somebody chooses to sacrifice themselves in order to get away from said problem. So I very much got Star Trek Voyager vibes from this story. And it was, but overall, I did like it. My favorite part of the episode was Cobra getting through the book. So I really like that dynamic. It was honestly, Cobra said it best. He goes, because we're a crew together, we know too much about each other, so we have to start this off with a personal story. And Cobra giving his, I want to say he was talking about Dia de los Muertos with his ritual, but I'm pretty sure it's not that. He did say standing funeral.
No. This is basically they taxidermy their dead apparently.
Yes. So that was a good story.
Fascinates me to no end. I would actually like to be a part of this one day.
Yeah, it's I can't remember. I've seen this before, but it was a something they did with photography in what I saw, where they posed them in a manner that reflects their life. But in this case, it's part of the wake.
Right.
Wow.
And so
Ahead,
it was.
continue, please.
I like that connectivity. So that again, another good part. That like probably my favorite part of the episode is he got through the book and book being the typical book was being me in a sense, because I would have thrown that same shade of the psychiatrist or therapist, like, yes, grief, you're supposed to do this, yes, you're supposed to do this, like where I know, but then the shrink and therapist, of course, knowing more is like, oh, okay, well that's cute. So here's how I'm going to help you.
I think we got a key piece of information that a lot of people seem to overlook about this. He can never heal properly ever again.
Oh,
He did that right. Their planet healed them. The other dynamic I liked in the episode was, as much as I was going to call Burnham a Mary Sue, it made sense for her. I just liked the way they played it, where Rillick again doubted Burnham because Vance was sick, so Burnham had to step in. And so that dynamic worked really well. I didn't like that Navarre wanted this exit clause. Like, oh, well, we're holding the Federation accountable for the DMA. How? They didn't create it. It's just, yes, it will threaten plans, but it's like they expect the Federation
No.
stop
They're not. No. They're not holding the Federation accountable for the DMA. They're holding the Federation to account because of what the Federation put Navarre through before the burn.
right.
Just
And they don't want that to happen again.
She cited the anomaly as a cause also.
Right.
She specifically
Right.
She cited the anomaly as a cause.
She's citing the anomaly as a cause because it is a galactic threat. And if they push Navarre the same way that Navarre was pushed before the burn, yeah, I'd want an exit clause as well.
Which I think isn't right. There is no logic to that. There's, of course, that shows the Vulcans, and of course, because they're Romulans also.
Or the same the Vulcans that we want to do before, though. These are Romulan Vulcans.
That's the thing about Vulcans. They talk a lot about how logic dictates all of their actions, but they're just as emotional as anyone else. It's just expressed differently.
But
And
she actually says that in this episode at one point. I think she was talking to Saru. She actually says this at one point.
So I didn't agree with it, but it's like, okay, Burnham was able to bridge that gap and form, of course, what compromise. So I'm like, yes, they were going to come to a compromise. So, of course, Rillick was like, I didn't think you were the right person for the job. So she's still doubting Burnham. But is anyone else getting vibes that the Navarre president wants to date Saru?
We had those vibes last season too.
Yeah. We all kind of saw that too.
He gets the tea. And he looks at her, and you could see her trying to not smirk when he looks at her. And then at the very end of the episode, Mr. Saru, would you like to join me for tea? And then that's it. They don't cut to that scene like they did in the middle of the episode. They cut that's just it. They're gone. So it's like, okay, I'm getting very much President is digging Saru vibes right now.
I really
so-
think they're building a reverse Sarek relationship at this point.
Reverse Sarek?
Yeah, it was Sarek and the
Amanda.
what's her face, and then
Amanda.
Spock. Right? I think
And
they're
now we
building a
have-
reverse one.
Yeah, I
Because
think
it's a lady Vulcan and it's like a non-human alien.
Interesting.
But so I like that dynamic, and Tilly leaving is a punch in the face to us in a way, because again, I agree with Ross. They handled it fine. I'm okay with the way they handled it. But middle of the season, with the how to put this, not comic relief, but the uplifting spirit of the show, and she's gone. It's like, okay, Saru can be funny, but like last season when they tried out him working on his engage catchphrase, it was pretty bad. It's like, you know, what are we gonna do about Tilly? Overall, I liked the episode. It wasn't terrible. So Disco gave me back-to-back episodes I liked. We'll see what happens next week, because for the first time since Discovery has come into our lives, we do not have Ensign/Lieutenant Tilly to make us laugh.
Well, the
Saru
fuck that
is a
we
straight
know of.
man.
Yeah, Justin and I actually found something about that. It was confirmed by one of the show's producers. Tilly is not gone.
No.
No. But they mean she is in the rest of the season. So I'm like, why would you give that send off if she's going to be in the show?
Well,
I mean,
she's just no
look,
longer going to be on the ship.
Look! It's better than saying Colbert is not dead for an entire fucking season when he's actually fucking dead.
Yeah, I watched.
And
it on
according to
that-
Mary Wiseman, the Brady Room, they'll be back. Yeah. Thanks, Brenda.
But
Yeah, I don't think Tilly's gone, but she's taking a lesser role, and that's a shame, because she was very much the conscience and the of the show, and it'll be interesting to see if one of the supporting characters is going to fill that role a bit more, or if that's going to be filled by Adira now.
Wesley 2.0.
What?
Wesley of
Anyway,
Nine.
so there you
Was
go,
that
guys.
Boomer?
I did not hate the episode this week.
What was that, Boomer? Wesley what? You are the oldest one here. No.
Next.
That's what I
All
thought.
right, thank you, Greg. Son, let's hear from you.
So I've got another note thing this week. It's a hell of a lot less than last week, believe it or not.
Amazing.
Mostly because I just made little notes. I mean, there were a few issues. My first issue, a rogue gamma wave. What is this nonsense? Just a rogue gamma wave strikes the ship, and that's the shuttle, and that's why it
What?
crashes.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was wondering about that too. Don't they have? Isn't that what shielding is for?
Like,
Mm-hmm.
isn't there shit to scan for that? You just get hit by a rogue gamma wave. Well, how much you want to bet that this is going to be connected to the
TMA.
Yeah,
Could be.
I guarantee this is going to be connected somehow to the anomaly at some point. Also, we got our first red shirt of the season.
Yes, we did.
The grass shirts are
Lieutenant.
back.
No. I put it this way: the reason I said red shirt is because Lieutenant Callum dies,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody fucking cares. Even the Starfleet intelligence guy is like, the loss of Lieutenant Callum is a tragedy. Anyway, about your career in Starfleet Academy.
Yep, that's very much red.
Red shirts are back.
And in a series where everybody's supposed to be cared for. Huh, okay. I took issue with the escape clause actually breaking down like discussions, negotiations. I completely disagree with all of you. Absolutely. There is complete logic in having an escape clause in Navarre rejoining the Federation.
Okay.
My problem with all of this shit is they're just hardlining at the proposal. Both sides are hardlining at the proposal. They're not even going over the terms of said escape clause.
Well, there were no terms. It was unconditional.
Yeah, she said very much it's an unconditional escape clause. Like if they want to leave, that's it.
But that's 90% of contracts have an escape clause based on the actions of the other party.
Huh?
I don't understand why there wouldn't be one between nations in an alliance.
Well, look at the EU and Brexit.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
that's what happens when you don't have an escape clause. I mean, like literally, the whole shit that happened with Brexit is because the EU was like, no, you can't leave. So, yeah, I look at this situation and I go, it's fully justified. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's the logic purists, like was stated, or if it was like some new union alliance between Navarre and Romulus, because Romulus went through shit with Vulcan too. Like the whole explosion of Romulus and Remus could technically be pinned on the Vulcans if the comic book stuff is to be believed. If the comic book stuff is considered canon.
I think most of Countdown is no longer canon.
It's not.
The broad strokes are still kind of there. Nero is still there, but
From JJ Trek, it stated the Vulcans were going to help. The supernova happened quicker than what they anticipated. That's why Romulus died.
Right
before Spock got there with red matter.
Right, and you're still going to have Romulans who despise Vulcans for the fact that Vulcan didn't help fast enough. No matter what you do, that aside, you have two races that have gone through hell in the Federation, who have now recombined as a species and separated from the Federation for 200 years because of a regional disaster. And I'm going to call it a regional disaster because there's no telling how far the burn went. But you have this regional disaster, and the entire planet of Navarre is like still has this distrust of the Federation because of how they were pushed by the Federation to search for alternatives. It is entirely both emotionally and like just logically logical for them to want an escape clause from the Federation.
And one thing I glossed over in the synopsis is that the Federation president was forewarned about the escape clause by the Vulcan president.
Yeah.
The whole reason they wanted Michael and Saru there is so that they could figure out a way around it without becoming directly involved themselves.
Tarina truly is the president that thinks that Navarre should be reunited with the Federation, that the services that they can provide would not only re-benefit Navarre, but the entire galaxy post-burn and post-new dilithium in the galaxy. And or in the region. So yeah, she truly believes. Of course, she would drop a hint. Okay, but it makes sense. It makes sense that the people of Vulcan or Navarre would want an escape clause from the Federation. But anyway, is anyone hoping Tarina and Saru get married? Because I am.
We're definitely shipping them. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get to the problem that pisses me off the most. Once again, Burnham is the only person in the galaxy who can fix a fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem that she is suited to fix.
But,
who else in Starfleet has direct connections to both the Federation and Navarre?
Possibly, but again,
she's occupied.
At this point, Rillick kind of just exposes herself more as this person toying with Burnham, Considering the outright scolding she gave Burnham episode 1, then she's literally giving Burnham all of this shit that literally contradicts the scolding she gave Burnham in the first fucking place.
No, you're right. She is toying with her. I'm not toying with her, but she's like, she did say at the end when Burnham is very much aware Vance wasn't sick. I'm really like, well, I didn't think you were the right person for the job. It's like that's still condescension. Like, she does not believe in Burnham 100%.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, why believe if you have doubts about Burnham, why?
True.
If you have doubts about Burnham being the one to do all of this stuff, why do you keep putting her in those situations? I mean, I 100% I understand sending Burnham off for the station and shit, because it's literally spore drive there instantly, fix problem before the station explodes. Cool. All of this other shit that's been happening, what are you doing? Why send Burnham? Burnham isn't a diplomat. Hell, Vance isn't a diplomat. Why send Burnham?
Actually, Burnham has Sarek's Katra, and Sarek was a diplomat. A part of Sarek's Katra.
She has a fragment of his memory.
Yeah.
She doesn't have his full Katra. His Katra presumably is residing within the Katric arc on Vulcan.
Burnham was son. So my thing was Burnham was very specific. Burnham was going to be the savior of this episode, and I kind of glossed over it because to me it did make sense. So because of her connection, she is a citizen of Vulcan Navarre. She is a captain of the Federation. But last week with the Quat Malat, she shouldn't have been involved in that because she was very much a conflict of interest with her mother.
Exactly.
Yes, it was involved. Yeah. But I would argue last week was more of a conflict of interest because of her mother versus this week where it's like, okay, you are a bridge between these two. Help out.
Also, keep in mind that Discovery was already there because they were ferrying, but they were escorting both presidents to the summit.
So I have another weird question concerning Burnham having Navarre citizenship. Does this technically make her the oldest living person on the planet?
Quite possibly. But technically she is over 900 years old, but does time?
No, okay.
Well, Saru, it does for Saru. It does for Saru. He's on it.
Where's Joe? Where's Joe? Science with Greg. So, Burnham technically, everybody on Discovery is technically not 900 years older because they were not put into some sort of stasis or cryo sleep because they hopped across a line. It's basically they hopped across the line into another place. It's like going from LA to Sydney. You're hopping across that date line. You are now not 24 years older or 24 hours older.
Not how it works.
Justin.
In time travel.
Justin. So in physics, basically, they would not be older. They are just that they would not be considered older because they hopped across. Versus actually having, if they were in some sort of cryo sleep or actually had literally lived that 900 years, then yes, they'd be 900 years older. But no, they are still the same age and technically should not be considered older having jumped across.
See, so here's the problem with that. The problem with that is thinking everybody in the world is going to think that, or everybody in the quadrant.
I mean, it's even explained in the episode 900 years in the future. So
because they know that most people seem to know that the Discovery is from 900 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what, they're going to say, you're 900 years old. Yeah, sure, we fast-tracked you with all this temporal tech that we have left over from whatever the hell temporal stuff is supposed to have gone on earlier. But we fast-tracked you with all of the knowledge to get you up to speed, but you're still 900 years old. And that doesn't matter if you hop a line or you're in stasis. You have woken up in a world where you are considered 900 years older. They're not wrong.
They're not 900 years older because of the way they came into it. That's
what they're saying. So and it's said on screen. So can it be?
So here's the thing. It's not. It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with with them physically being 900 years old. And it has everything to do with this kind of prejudice of you're from 900 years ago. Weird, isn't it? Weird, isn't it? It's one of those really good thinky questions. I mean, you can explain it all the live long day, but a normal human being who's not stuck in the physicalness of medical fucking data is going to say, but you're from 900 years ago.
You're from a different. You're time displaced. How could you possibly understand the events of today when your mind came from well before any of this was an issue?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how we got that great line a couple of episodes ago. Some guy named Picard. Some admiral named Picard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
Culver wouldn't know who Picard is because he wasn't born yet.
His intelligence was fast-tracked to catch them up. It wasn't like here's everything that Picard did.
He wasn't raised on that hero of Starfleet.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I've got two more notes. Tilly is the levity in tension.
Mm-hmm.
In a situation, Tilly often brings that break in what is otherwise like overwhelming drama. And it's been great. Her loss is going to be felt if not properly replaced either by Tig being snarky as hell or Adira drastically changing as a character.
I think it'll be more Tig.
I hope more Tig.
We need more of that snarky, I don't give a shit attitude in the show.
I mean, Tilly is the only other person who would have been like Tig, where Tig said, "Get off my ass, sir. Get off my ass, sir." Tilly did that. So.
The only way that we can that honestly I think folks will accept Adira as a new version of Tilly is if you have Tig being a snarky smartass and Adira being the Tilly and Stamets of this season. Remember that?
Yeah. But then we also have Gray in the picture for however long.
That's my last note.
Yeah.
That's my last note. The only thing I have to say about the whole Gray situation. Goth mullet.
Yeah. They make it work.
It makes me wonder, because Ian sported that at Star Trek Day, but in the first three episodes of Disco, Ian just had a typical haircut until this one was like, okay, weren't they still filming Disco at Star Trek Day, or like they just
think so?
So it makes me wonder it makes me wonder that he basically grew the mullet in the middle of the filming or something,
or they put in extensions.
Or that, yeah, Ian could be doing that.
I mean, let's be honest. It wasn't a week or two ago that Gray was literally the blue short haired, and then
last week,
and then well, no, not last week. I mean, like in time of Discovery and all that stuff, right?
I think Disco off.
And so you literally, I mean, it's 900 years later, but even in the next generation and shit, you literally had the tech for them to fucking grow hair and change.
And why is Picard bald?
Because he doesn't care.
He doesn't care, yeah.
Because he feels it makes him distinguished.
Yeah. I mean, the Doctor grew out Seven's hair.
Yes.
That was a big sticking point. That was a big thing for him. Oh, look, I stimulated her hair follicles, and now she's got a fine coif.
The Doctor gave himself hair.
But the hair growth thing could also be because Disco did take a break, I think, mid-season because of COVID. So, they could have decided to roll with longer hair.
It's possible. I mean,
and just roll with the mullet.
I don't care. It's not about like I love it. I love the
It looks cool. It's very unique, and I don't think it's quite been done.
Look, I'm jealous that I don't have that look because I live in the fucking South, okay? I would love to have a goth mullet, thank you.
And Ian pulls it off. Ian Alexander pulls it off really well.
Yes. Agreed.
extraordinarily well.
Like at Star Trek Day, I'm like, damn, get it, Ian.
So yeah, those are my notes.
Awesome.
I've got a ways to go, but I'm getting there.
Oh God, Ross.
Hello, Ross.
What's next? The yellow.
I've done the
Speedo,
beard thing. Now it's trying to try new things up here.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So,
Well, you
son-
can go multicolor. You can go multicolor hair. I mean, that
Hey,
works.
I don't have a job that has strict grooming requirements anymore. I can do whatever I want.
Hot
It's
pink
incredible.
hair. There you go.
Look at that! Look at that! He goes from
Isn't it-
temp to full. He goes from temp to permanent. Now he's just out the window with the rules.
Isn't it nice being post-military?
Yes, yes, it is. You can have one haircut. It says you can have this. Shave the rest. That's all you get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, any final thoughts, son?
I outside of the what the hell, the diplomacy shit this episode, which honestly I think Saru did the best. Like that interaction, like I mean, we keep talking about Tiana and Saru, and I'm like, yeah, no, that works. That works really well. Like that whole thing. This episode, outside of the diplomacy shit, because I just really hate Relic. This was a great episode. Like even the stuff between Culber and Booker was just excellent. And I've seen a lot of people complain that it's like, what the fuck? He just progressed and now he's regressing, and it's like, welcome to Discovery. That shit happens every fucking season with Burnham.
Oh God.
Well,
But not only that, that's fucking life. Especially in the middle of grief.
Pretty much.
You can have a moment where things change, and that moment is fleeting. It will run away from you. And and like any drug, it is something you'll think about chasing to try and get it back. And the whole discussion with Booker and Culber was about not going and chasing, but building your own way to overcome grief, which is why he had him trying to make the mandala.
yeah.
And then we got possibly the biggest spoilery thing for the season at the end of the discussion, where Booker turns the counseling around on Culber. And Culber admits there are things he knows that he's not ready to talk about yet. And it's one of those, is this connected to the anomaly? Dun, dun, dun. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, son.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Justin, you're up.
Alrighty, well, I like this episode overall this week. I thought it was a little too convenient to Burnham saves the day yet again, but I think they're setting that up for something else later on in the season between Burnham and the president. Yeah, I just have a funny feeling Burnham might not be the captain of Discovery at the end of the season.
Well, see, you have that feeling. I have a feeling that we're going to see Rillick betray the Federation at some point.
Probably.
I say that because of the interaction between Rillick and Burnham at the end.
Yeah, I kind of get that vibe because we don't really know who this Rillick is related to.
Do you remember? Does anybody remember what Rillick said to Burnham? Burnham says, "Look, if I'm going to be if I'm going to be this person, I need complete transparency from you." And Rillick goes, "I understand. Not yes, not no. I understand."
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a lot more implication than anything.
Yeah, I think we're going to see something else. And we might see Burnham, step away from Discovery and take over the Federation. That will just piss off every hater between here to Greg.
No, I completely think Rillick is going to turn something fierce over,
Or Vance will take over the
or
Federation. as
something
president.
weird, and I fully expect Vance to take over.
Yeah, Vance will take over as president, and then Burnham will take over for Vance.
One thing I would like to note that I missed earlier, this was the first time we've heard acknowledgments of the president's heritage.
Yeah, the whole confirmed that what we already kind of knew from the markings and everything, that she was Cardassian and Bajoran, but
So
we don't know
human?
who she's and human, but we don't know who she's related to.
So,
I don't think that matters, Justin.
So here's the interesting
Oh, I
thing.
think it does.
900 years.
So here's the thing, and this is heritage shit aside. Did anybody notice or catch that Burnham used the Bajor in the same vernacular that Picard did in their starting episodes? As in, instead of saying Bajoran like we came to understand in DS9, in the beginning when Picard was talking about Bajor and the Bajorans, he would call them the Bajor.
Interesting.
And Burnham does that this episode. Which is why it felt awkward with her saying it that way. Because we've come to understand Bajoran and Bajor. I thought that was a nice little bit.
Yeah.
Radar, not a bit.
Kind of sets her apart as someone who's kind of still learning on the outside.
It's not even that she's learning on the outside. It seems like there was a, how do I put this? Like the Federation kind of, I'm going to screw up saying this word, colloquialized. Oh, I did it.
Hey,
The way Bajor is said.
So like Japan
people-
versus Nippon.
The Bajorans were called the Bajor. And then they just became Bajorans being around the Federation. So it makes me wonder if this was always, it's kind of like when you go to Greek and you call people, when you go to Greece and you call people Greek, but they refer to themselves as Hellenists. You know, it's just a colloquial term that we gave them, being Greek.
but anyway, to continue on with the review phase. Yeah, I think it's definitely setting up for something later on in the season. I'm retracting my Saru death note with a Saru wedding ceremony towards the end of the season. So Saru's head is safe for now. Now, though, that save anyone else leaving the show? Only other person I would think that would possibly leave the show would be Tig, and that is because he is busy with other stuff and has a very busy acting career and has very little time to actually be on Discovery full time. And there's still not a season 5 that has been announced for this yet.
I thought there was.
I would like to point out a point of speculation that might happen. If things turn out the way we all kind of ship, Saru will be the replacement for Burnham as the independent third party. Because he will be married to Tarina, which will make him a citizen of Vulcan, and he will be part of the Federation.
Yeah, I can very well see that. And that way, if what is her name? President?
Rillick.
Yeah, well, if she does do what we think she's going to do, what we all think she's going to do is betray everybody, then if Vance moves into her spot, Burnham will move into Vance's spot,
Okay,
And
so
then-
I don't necessarily think. Okay, so here's a big thing. I don't think Rillick is going to make like this massive, huge fucking betrayal.
No, it's going to be
I-
a small one.
I think we've already seen what Rillick is after. It's just nobody's picked up on it yet. Rillick is after information. So all of these people now coming back into the Federation feeds her what? More information. She's looking for something.
Could be.
Something tells me she is looking for something. I understand she's part Cardassian. That may inherently give her an eidetic memory, but it seems like she's looking for something to go over everybody's files and shit. Like the guy who died in the last episode, she looked at the guy's file. I mean, that's understandable. I mean, from a certain perspective, that's understandable. But you're the fucking president of the Federation. That's not something you normally do. So,
Yeah.
and just as that happens, lightning strikes outside. Ooh.
Yeah, no, we're getting ready to get hit too here, so we have to get moving.
So yeah, I mean, it really. I honestly don't think she's going to like major. I don't think she's going to turn into the Emerald Chain Lady and just outright fucking betray the Federation.
It's going to be something small.
I think she's looking for information for something, and the moment she finds it, she's out, and it leaves everybody fucking confused and without leadership.
Maybe, but I think she's more like along the lines she's going to do something that's so egregious to try to make something happen that it's going to cost them to ask for her to resign.
I'm telling you, she's if Sun's going with that route, she's a descendant of Del Ducat.
That's what I'm screaming.
No. See, I'm starting to lean into the Garrick lineage of Garrick theory.
Yeah, but Garrick wouldn't go that far, I don't think.
Garrick wouldn't go that far, but his father would have.
True.
Tane would have. Tane did go that far.
Exactly.
But Ducat's been well known to sleep with multiple
yes,
doors.
but see, that's the thing Discovery kind of does well. Ducat was a mustache twirly villain.
A very
Discovery doesn't do that.
Well, if you count the
Who
president,
she is related to after 900 years does not matter in the
except
least.
Cardassians are very hereditary.
Yes, but you're also talking about a cultural hallmark. Culture changes significantly over time.
Sure.
And we don't know what the Cardassians are like not in the world that Rillick grew up in. We don't even know if she grew up on Cardassia. This episode hints that she is Cardassian, Bajoran, and human.
Mm-hmm.
She could have grown up on Cardassia, Bajor, Deep Space Nine, a space station, a planet that has nothing to do with any of them.
I really doubt Deep Space Nine is still there as we knew it.
She grew up on a refurbished Ibpak Nor.
That's a possibility.
Post Ducat cult.
She could have grown up on the rainforest ship, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Her lineage doesn't matter.
We'll see.
She is a character that stands on her own, and even if by some wild and crazy reason she is tangentially related to Cul Ducat 3 times removed, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
Okay.
All that matters is that she's looking for information because, like, she's accessing information no other president would really care about.
She could be really related to Damar for all we know. But it doesn't matter because her character needs to stand on her own and be judged by her own actions, not by who her ancestors are.
I see. That's the thing. That's the thing about the fandom, though. They're not going to do that.
Maybe.
And the writers kind of fall right into that trope or that trap as well, of trying to make a connection. So. Anyway, Ross, where's your review? Unless Justin's not done. Justin, are you done? Okay.
Thank you, Justin. This was a fun episode. It was a very busy episode, but I'm also ADHD, so it works for me. So I I liked how everything kind of meshed together, how the stories built off each other, how tension was built with each one, how you had the high stakes of Tilly's story, the simmering drama of Michael and Saru's story, the kind of low intensity personal drama of Book, and how they all built on each other at the same time. I really enjoyed that. I liked the individual beats of each story. Seeing Tilly be a badass leader is always awesome. Seeing Adira try to step up, but unable to really have that commanding feeling that Tilly has developed over time. Seeing these glimpses of these who are essentially children coming into this new world after living in the old one for so long was an interesting touch. The political drama of the summit was something we haven't seen in Star Trek before, in the sense that it is Federation drama. Everything that we've seen before has been the Federation is this monolithic entity, and nothing is really wrong with it outside of the occasional alien parasite that tries to take over. Or changelings trying to disrupt something. We always see things from the purely Starfleet perspective. And to see Federation politics finally in action is really interesting to me. It's something that the books have done really well that I'd love to see more of on the screen. That I think was showcased really well in this episode, and I was very glad to see
the few times we've seen Federation diplomacy, it's been either in the movies or that one fucking time in DS9.
The writers in the past have tried to go very far to show that there are no issues in the Federation, that it is the utopia. It is what we all strive to be. But an institution run by people will never be perfect, no matter how good it is.
It will always be root beer.
And it takes effort to maintain it. It takes vigilance to maintain it. Otherwise, it begins to decay. And it's good to see that imperfection on screen. And it's good to see Book continuing his journey of recovery, to see that it is a difficult journey, that you don't get one episode of strife, snap your fingers, all right, reset, everything's good again. Or snap, the person who went through this trauma is never seen again, so we don't have to worry about it. It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad to see more episodes like this. And that's my review of it. Any other final thoughts before? Any other final thoughts before we move into the Super Geekgasm?
Yes, I do. I have a second list for you. And this is specifically for you, Ross.
All right.
Accommodation, accord, adjustment, arrangement, concession, deal, pact, settlement, understanding, trade-off. These are all synonyms for compromise.
Dear.
Thank you very much. I'm not saying I will try and add those to my mental repertoire next time.
You're welcome.
I have been verbally vanquished.
All
right.
Hey, Justin, you put your microphone to your window?
All right, so that will conclude our discussion on Star Trek Discovery. We're looking forward to the next episode. Do we have a synopsis for the next one yet?
No.
I
don't think so. They usually release that beginning of the week.
From the clip on the Ready Room, they deal with it. I'm getting a very Star Trek TNG vibe where they help that prisoner that wasn't a prisoner. Damn, I forget his name. But basically, Burnham shows up with the Discovery, and the clip they showed is that, oh, your planet's, we have to evacuate your planet. It's like, okay, great. But then she goes, who are these 6 people? And like, oh, those are our prisoners. We can't get them out because we don't know how, everybody who knows how to work the system is gone. And so Burnham does the high and mighty Starfleet Federation. Well, we're not leaving them there. And then the guy's like, well, we don't know how to work it. And then the transition cuts out.
Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah,
So the anomaly has changed course. Now they got to rescue a planet.
it sounds like it. Yeah.
All right.
How much you want to bet that the prisoners are telepathic or empathic in some justification for them being locked up? And the anomaly is literally coming towards the planet because
Whoa.
it can sense the psychic stuff.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And was that your thunder or was that my thunder? Because this thunder's here too.
It was mine.
It's
all right.
We're both getting hammered.
Let's move into our next topic, and that is the Game Awards.
But Ross, you can't move in. You have somebody.
Huh?
Failed joke. But you can't move in. You say you want to move into the next topic, but you can't move in. You already have somebody.
Let's move on.
Just
to
to be
our
clear.
next
And now we're
topic,
just mounting the Game
the
Awards.
Game Awards.
And now we're just mounting the Game Awards.
Of course.
The Game
because,
Awards was
what's the
yesterday. The annual pomp and circumstance award ceremony celebrating the games industry and its primary goal, pimping all sorts of announcements, teasers, previews, and world premieres of all kinds.
And shit not related to gaming at all, like the Schick Hydrobot or Pepsi Man.
Yes, and of course,
Yes,
many advertisements.
There's a reason Jeff
The
Keighley
Matrix
is known
Reloaded preview.
there's a reason Jeff Keighley is known as the Doritos Pope.
Oh God.
So I'll go through quickly which who won what award, and then we're going to get into the meat of this story, and that is the reveals, the previews, the world premieres, and everything else. There are so many things to be hyped about, and I'm really excited to geek out about all these things. So first, we have the game of the year, It Takes Two, which, after what we talked about last week, is kind of scary.
Deserves it.
It
Deserves
deserves it so bad.
Notably,
all the crap that they went through.
Just to bloody the nose of Take-Two Interactive.
Yep.
Notably, it beat out Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, and Deathloop.
Good.
Best game direction, Deathloop. Best narrative, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
I've actually watched some of the gameplay from that. Yeah, that's deserved. It's really good.
It beat out Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange, True Colors, and Psychonauts 2.
Dread has a much better storyline.
Best art direction, Deathloop. Best music
Dread.
score and music, Nier Replicant, and I can definitely get behind that one.
I can attest to Deathloop having a really good art style. It's got that 60s 70s kind of feel on a cel shaded animation type thing. It kind of almost invokes We Happy Few without being British.
Best audio design, Forza Horizon 5. Best performance, Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimitrescu in Resident Evil Village. She beat out Giancarlo Esposito, Jason Kelly, Erica Mori, and Ozimura Akaga.
Esposito doesn't really play all that much of a role in the new Far Cry game. So even though Lady Dimitrescu is literally the first chapter of the new Resident Evil, she literally has a much bigger part than Esposito does in Far Cry. Plus, of course, they were going to vote for the big titty goth girl.
As you do. Games for Impact, which is a category about thought-provoking, pro-social meaning or message games. Life is Strange, True Colors won that one. It beat out Boyfriend Dungeon, Chicory Colorful Tale, Before Your Eyes, and No Longer Home. Best ongoing game, Final Fantasy 15 online.
I think it's 14.
14 XIV, that's 14. You are correct.
Yeah.
It beat Fortnite and Apex Legends, so
Thank God.
Best indie game, Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Best mobile game, Genshin Impact. Everybody loves the waifus, I guess. Best community support, Final Fantasy XIV Online. Innovation in accessibility, Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, but you gotta be you gotta be careful about that because Forza also has this apply your own skin thing, and they've been permabanning people
That's
left and right for
Imposter Cure,
shit.
thank you for the host. You're awesome.
Like seriously, a dude literally created a skin just to put on his van because he basically raced in a van, and the side of the van he wrote free candy. I'm not shitting you. And they banned him from playing the game for that.
Best VR AR Resident Evil 4. Best action game Returnal. Best action adventure Metroid Dread. Best role-playing game Tales of Arise. Wait, they actually nominated Cyberpunk 2077? They actually nominated Cyberpunk.
So here's the thing. Cyberpunk is a game that is plagued by its own fucking hype. And because they already had like over half the game fucking done before Keanu Reeves hopped on board and said, I want to be a part of this. They had to completely start the entire game from scratch then and there to put Keanu Reeves into the game. That's why you got such a broken ass story with places it looks like you can go, but you can't go. And stuff that's in previous trailers that aren't even in the game anymore. It's because they literally had to start the entire game from scratch to build the game around Keanu Reeves. And even in that, I mean, they don't CD Projekt Red doesn't even have the decency to pull what the fucking dev team behind No Man's Sky did and just go dark for a couple of years updating the game to get it fixed. They have to keep putting out statements and shit.
Best fighting game Guilty Gear Strive. Best family game It Takes Two. Ooh, beat out Mario Party.
Oh, but that's because It Takes Two is marriage counseling the game, and it's brilliant as a marriage counseling game.
Best Sims. They combined the sim and strategy categories. Age of Empires 4, which is not bad. Beat out Microsoft Flight Simulator. Best sports and racing game, Forza Horizon 5. Again, why combine these two categories? Best multiplayer, It Takes Two. Multiplayer?
Yeah. It Takes Two is a 2-player game. It is side-by-side co-op. Yeah.
That seems like it should be different categories. Because you're putting It Takes Two up against Back for Blood. Those are very different games.
Sure, but It Takes Two won, didn't it?
Yeah, it won.
Yeah, it should be a testament to the power of that game, period.
Content Creator of the Year, Dream.
Okay.
I'm confused at this.
Okay, all I know about Dream is that for some fucking reason he cheated a speed run in Minecraft.
Dream is a Minecraft content creator. He does speed runs, but he also does a scripted Minecraft survival server.
Okay.
There is an ongoing story within Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really interesting form of entertainment. I haven't watched a lot of it, but what I have is interesting. I'd have to watch a little more to really get into it, but it's something different and unique. But yeah, he also cheated in several Minecraft speedruns.
So interestingly, what you're telling me is that he has a Minecraft survival series that is scripted, right?
Yes, the story in the series is scripted, but the events that go on in the server is not.
Because you saying that kind of reminds me of that one viral Minecraft clip of the dude dyeing the wool and the other one going nuts, going, "Everyone's gonna be mad because you broke the rules." And everybody turned into a Team Fortress 2 animation.
Right.
Best debut indie, Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Most anticipated game, Elden Ring. Beat out Breath of the Wild, Starfield, Forbidden West, and Ragnarok.
So how can it be out Starfield when Starfield's not even out yet?
Well,
Most anticipated. Who has the biggest hype?
Anticipated game. See, here's the thing. I have no hype for Starfield because every time I see shit about Starfield, it is an interview with Todd Howard, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't trust anything you tell me.
Best esports game, League of Legends.
I mean, it's the least toxic of them.
Yeah.
Best esports athlete, Alexander Simple Kostylev.
Okay. Russian.
Mm-hmm. Best esports team, Natas Vincere. They play Counter-Strike. Best esports coach, Kim, Jong-Yun. Best esports events, 2021 League of Legends World Championship. And that's it. That is the winners of the Game Awards this year.
Okay.
Oh.
And now for what we really want to talk about, what we actually want to talk about, the hype, the announcements, the stuff we're excited for, and the stuff that we are and a lot of the stuff that we are inevitably going to be disappointed about, but that's for later. All right. First up.
You Star Trek.
That comes later, Justin. First up is Senega's Saga, Hellblade 2. Senega's Sacrifice, the previous game, was incredibly well received. I haven't played it yet, but it's on my list. And the sequel is interesting. I have no idea what it's about, but the trailer looked pretty cool. Did you guys see it? What did you think, son?
I haven't seen. I literally haven't watched anything from the Game Awards. I mean, you and Dayspring posted a list of shit in your server about like trailers and shit. I haven't watched a single fucking one of them. But I can tell you from having watched the first one being played that this is kind of going to be an evolving story about Senua having her PTSD, mental whatever the hell that she has. Because that's the entire point of the first game, is that she's got like shit going on in her head.
She's got serious shit going on in her head.
Yeah. So it's basically going to continue that, and I actually kind of am interested in seeing it played.
Looks like we lost Greg to take care of family stuff. Good night, Greg. Glad to have you tonight.
See you later, bud.
Yeah, well, in the trailer, as she and a group of hunters are sneaking into a monster's lair, and as everyone's creeping forward, you hear what I'm assuming is their inner monologue of constantly either talking down to her or giving her a worst-case scenario as she walks in. Look at the bones. That'll be you. We're all going to die. They're all going to die, and it's your fault. Stuff like that. And then they find the monster, which is a giant human without legs that they're trying to take down, and it's taking forever. And then the last thing you hear is it reaching out, "Help me, Senua!" Very... I need to play the first game.
Yeah.
How about you, Justin?
Yeah, probably not going to play it, but it looks cool.
All right. Star Wars Eclipse from Quantic Dream. Quantic Dream is the studio behind Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Become Human, and Heavy Rain. So it's going to be one of those.
I can't remember if it's David Cage or if it's David Lynch, but that's the guy who. That's the guy who runs that studio, and holy shit, that guy is fucking insane.
He is an auteur for sure.
Which makes me have kind of zero hope for whatever the hell this High Republic nonsense is going to be.
It's going to be a different kind of Star Wars game, that's for sure. It's going to be more reminiscent of an old school point and click action adventure game. It's going to be like his previous games. Your character is going to be presented with a lot of choices, and those choices eventually build up to a climax that define the end of how your game turns out.
Yeah, doesn't matter what choice you make, you still only get 3 colored endings.
Hey, EA didn't make this game. EA has no hand in this game.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Detroit still has 3 endings, no matter what you choose.
Oh, I never finished Detroit.
It's so weird. This guy has all this pomp and circumstance talking about it's about emotion and all this kind of shit, and your choices matter, and it's like there's only 3 fucking endings.
If you don't count all the bad ends along the way.
I mean, at that point, you're literally just trying to amuse yourself till you get to the end. It's like intentionally killing yourself in Metroid Dread just to see how you can die. Like, there's one death in Metroid Dread where you can kill her in lava, and it's almost like she's trying to give the thumbs up, but she never quite gets there.
How about you, Justin?
Probably not. But I mean, hey, look.
Okay. Warner Brothers announced a Wonder Woman game. We have no idea what kind of game it's going to be, just that it's being made. But a Wonder Woman-centric game? It's from the makers of Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, and Shadow of War. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's going to be layered with purchase packs.
Mm-hmm.
But if it follows the style of game of the previous ones, that should be interesting. Fighting back to reclaim Themyscira from some nefarious force.
Or just
insert credit card number here. Insert credit card number here. Insert credit card number here.
Or
they weren't that bad.
Or just for men. I mean, at this point, at this point, it seems like games are getting just that fucking stupid in some places.
We'll see.
You're not wrong.
We'll see. Tunic. I don't know anything about this game, but it's got a cute fox character with a with a Link style tunic, sword and shield.
Excellent.
King of Fighters 15. I don't really care about that one. How about you guys?
Yeah.
You know what would help?
I don't really pull fighting games all that much. It just depends. Like if it's Mortal Kombat or something, or Street Fighter, yeah. But just a fighting game to have a fighting game, no. Well, there you go.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well,
that's a multiplayer Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
Multiplayer?
It looks like it's going to be a Dead by Daylight clone.
It's basically Dead by Daylight, but
oh god! Can't they come up with something original?
I don't think that's going to go far. Ooh, Homeworld 3.
Just search for more money.
That's Spaceballs 2.
Tone down
and now Homeworld 3.
A little bit, Justin. Homeworld Remastered was a lot of fun, although I didn't finish it. And Homeworld 2 is still very well received.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Spaceballs, I shit you not. Like, there's a company right now literally selling canned air. Like Perrier. I shit you not.
Life imitates parody. Oh, this one you might be interested in the Expanse, the Telltale series. Not this ad that's playing right now.
Oh, yeah. So this is the weird thing. So the company, the Telltale company, kind of went bankrupt near the end of
The same ad, seriously?
end of what is it? Borderlands, the Borderlands one.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And it was only because a bunch of investors literally came in and scooped the company out of its debt that they were able to basically finish the Telltale Borderlands and keep the company on life support, essentially.
Yeah.
So to find out that they've made an entirely other new game at this point is kind of fascinating.
Well, Telltale kind of got rebooted after that. The rights of the company were sold, a new investment firm took it up, and now they're making games again.
Oh, that's good.
So the old toxic leadership is gone, and we'll see how toxic the new leadership is.
Well, even with the toxic leadership, let's just hope that the story quality is maintained from team to team.
Agreed.
Yeah, because they had some really good stories, like Walking Dead. They did that one. They did Back to the Future 4, which
Tales
was really
from the
good.
Borderlands was incredible. Minecraft story mode was so much fun.
Minecraft story mode was the onus for Mojang to make dungeons.
Yep. Wolf Among Us was incredible. The Batman series was okay. I really miss some of their older stuff, like Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People, and of course, as I mentioned during the pre-show, the Tales of Monkey Island.
I mean, I'll be completely honest. You could sell me on a game like Cool Bad's what is it?
Strong Bad. Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People.
Okay, you could sell me on this cool game for attractive people if you replaced Strong Bad with Johnny Bravo. Think of it, Johnny Bravo's cool game for attractive people. Would that not sell?
Yeah.
You'd
Cartoon
hit the
Network building off the old hype.
You'd hit the nostalgia real hard.
Yeah, kind of a Leisure Suit Larry thing, but less adult themed.
Oh no! See, that's the thing. The best thing about this game is you're literally not playing Johnny Bravo. I would if I was designing this game, you wouldn't play Johnny Bravo at all in the game. You would always either be his dork friend or the little girl who's always following him around, telling him not to do shit, and when he gets in trouble, it's like that's on you, dude.
All right, Alan Wake 2. I loved the first Alan Wake game. It was so weird and creepy and different from games I'd played before. And I'm so glad we're getting a sequel.
So creepy, it's only available on YouTube.
Well, the video's been age restricted because it is a very... I'm not sure why. There's just that flash of creepy face for a moment there. It's very Stephen King in its presentation.
That's probably why.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I like a good slasher once in a while.
It's not a slasher.
It can have Stephen King aesthetic all it wants to. Just don't Stephen King us. Don't do to us what he did to the Dark Tower.
Alan Wake is a story about a writer whose own story has come to life. So he has to make his way through a rural Pacific Northwest town that's only accessible by ferry, where a darkness is slowly taken over the people, a darkness that he created by writing a story. To fight these enemies, he has to shine a light at them until the barrier around them breaks, and then he has to kill them with a pistol.
Okay. Wait. Okay, this is the trailer for Alan Wake 2.
Yes.
Okay, because this is just kind of like riffing off of the Metro thing with the spiders.
Yes.
Kinda.
you either shoot them or you either expose them to light until they go belly up, in which you can shoot them, or you can just keep shining a light on them and they will eventually die.
Except instead of being attacked in waves, there are waves, but it's an incredibly atmospheric and creepy game because it all takes place at night. You have to take cover in street lights, and it's an incredible game. I highly recommend it.
Interesting.
And if the sequel does what the original did, but better, it's going to be so cool. But the idea of a writer's own story coming to life and him having to fight against his own ideas, his own darkness, that is so cool.
See, we kind of had something like that. Well, the UK kind of had something like that. It was called Red Dwarf. One of the big season finales of Red Dwarf is that they finally get back to Earth, but it turns out not to be Earth. It literally turns out to be the creator of Red Dwarf's house, and so they're literally meeting Father, but it's also like he's God or something.
Just Sonic for Hire did the same thing.
So weird.
Final Fantasy VII's remake is finally coming to PC.
Yes, but is it going to be complete, or is it just going to be that first fucking chapter?
It's just the first chapter. They're still building on the next ones.
I'll wait.
It's still a full-length game. It's not just the events of Midgard transplanted. It's expanded on incredibly.
Look, I will wait until the second disc comes out. Thank you.
All right. We got our first trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah. It's almost like if you do something properly, people will go and see it and then will want more of it.
It definitely looks interesting.
Especially now that we have Jim Carrey being proper Eggman.
Yeah.
With the flying clown face.
Oh,
You got the flying clown face and tails with the plane.
It's the mustache more than anything. All that time he spent in the other world, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sonic Frontiers. I didn't see this trailer.
Careful, yeah.
Yeah.
So, something within me says this is going to be Sonic / Genshin Impact. But who knows?
Looks kind of like a movie tie-in, but it's more. It looks like might be a 3D Sonic game. Those are always kind of iffy.
Yeah.
You know, I actually kind of enjoyed what was it, Sonic XD on the Dreamcast?
Yeah.
I think it was. I actually enjoyed that
the
game.
3D Sonic game.
Oh, this is very Sonic Generations.
Well, see,
it's Sonic Breath of the Wild.
Well, it looks that way. But then again, Nintendo recently just did this with their new Kirby game too.
Yeah.
Kirby City something or other. So, yeah. Okay.
Oh, here is my most anticipated trailer, Horizon Forbidden West. This looks so damn good. So damn good. I loved the first game to death. The intertwining stories, Aloy's own personal journey, her discovery of what happened in the past, the possibilities, what's going on in the future, fighting giant robot dinosaurs.
I can't wait for Aloy.
Is that one called the Power Rangers?
I can't wait. Wait.
You said giant robot dinosaurs. That's it. It's one called the Power Rangers.
Oh, the Megazords. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no. He's got a point. You can literally tame those things.
Yeah, but you can't ride the big ones like a Megazord. You can only ride the small ones.
Sure, but still, you can still bring them over to your side.
Like a Megazord.
The big one's only temporarily.
Sure.
We got our first.
Wait a minute. I still haven't. Let me get out my joke. Damn it.
Go for it.
I can't wait for Aloy to get her promotion to composite.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Damn it, son. Why?
An alloy metal and a composite metal, yeah. I like my esoteric jokes, thank you.
We got our first trailer, our latest trailer for Destiny 2's Witch Queen.
Not interested.
It was a curious trailer, expanding a bit more on what we saw in the first teaser several months ago, but this time including the return of one of my favorite characters in the game, Eris Morn.
Interestingly enough, I'm currently playing Destiny 2, and they announced that they were releasing the Forsaken DLC free before they literally just yeet it off the entire surface of the planet. Except that's not what they did, or at least they only half did that. When they released the Forsaken DLC for free, they gave us the story campaign. They excluded all of the exotic weapons, even including the ones that are part of the storyline, like rewards for finishing certain quests. All of the dungeons, all of the raids, all of the like extra content for like doing dailies and weekly shit are all still locked behind buying the Forsaken pack.
Which is why when anyone brings up Destiny, I always do, because it's a fucking money pit.
See, this is where I go. They may have left Activision Blizzard over the Eververse Ingram purchasing loot boxy bullshit, but they kept all the rest of the shit Activision Blizzard taught them, like how to nickel and dime every fucking thing about the game, and then say that they don't have money.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to getting Cade's gun.
Well, we'll see what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
They are bringing the Witch Queen does bring back Mars, so maybe we'll see some return of the Warmind content in one way or another, just like they're reintroducing the Vault of Glass and some of the Destiny 1 materials in the current storyline or the current expansion.
That's the unvaulted content. The unvaulted content requires an additional authentication, which I find absolutely ridiculous considering they went cross-play, which means we now have to have Battle Eye to play Destiny 2. You don't need much more authentication than that. Why do I have to give you my phone number on top of that?
Yeesh.
Yeah, and that's just to play. That's just to play the Vault of Glass. Like, Bungie, my God.
Slitherhead is a new horror game by Silent Hill creator Keiichiro Toyama with a soundtrack by Silent Hill composer Akira Yamaoka.
Close.
Yamaoka.
Close.
What?
I said close. Good job.
Then there's Nightingale.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Oh,
It's like a self-action game.
Another one.
Hey, play as Gollum.
Hey,
the actor they got is very similar to Andy Serkis.
Wouldn't you love to play a stealth action game where you literally have to shut yourself up because your split personality disorder will expose you?
I mean, why would I play something that happens in real life?
Okay, well, there you go.
Well, it's something I'm looking forward to. Son, any more esoteric jokes before we move on?
No, but I'm interested in looking forward to how doctoring works in that Nightingale game. That was a joke. That was
Bad.
the joke.
Bad. Bad son.
Somerville. I haven't watched this one, so I don't know what it's about, and there's no summary. Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course. Looks like it's a... Oh, it's a sequel. Cool.
Yes, it's a sequel, and I wonder how many game journalists won't get through this tutorial. I swear
so
to God,
embarrassing.
that guy went on a fucking rant just because he didn't understand how to fucking double jump. Holy shit.
Now, this is one I am very much looking forward to. I was a huge fan. I am a Warhammer 40k fan, again.
Yeah, we see.
Yeah.
We see all the collectibles.
But I was also a fan of the original game when it came out. I've played it on my stream several times. I played it offline a bunch of times. Captain Titus is a fun character. I loved the droll humor throughout the game. I should warn you, my lords, we have a slight orc problem, she says as they're in the middle of an invasion. But this looked really cool. Space Marines versus Tyranids at first. The style, the combat looks great. They've advanced it into the modern era. Captain Titus is now a Primaris Marine. This is going to be so fun. Does Space Marine interest either of you?
I played the strategy game Dawn of War, so I'm actually looking forward to was it Dawn of War 2 or is it 3 that they announced some time ago?
2 has been out for a while. 3 was unfortunately very disappointing.
Well, I swear they were talking about a new one.
A remaster, I think.
Not that I've heard. I'll look that up later and see what I can find.
I mean, I think I've only played the first one.
Damn.
Sorry for the thunder, but yeah,
it's doing it here too.
But yeah, I think I've only played the first one, so I definitely need to look at the
first one was really good. The second one was a lot of fun, smaller scale, very interesting. The final DLC was weird, and then the third one was they took all the versatility. It's like they combined the first 2 games and had a lesser product as a result.
So basically, Command & Conquer 4.
Not that bad. Not near that bad. That was just straight up bad. This was just disappointing.
Bullshit is what it was.
It was disappointing, and it didn't perform as well as they wanted to, so they nixed all the DLC and moved on.
Okay.
Vermintide 2. This is the Left 4 Dead style game in the
This is
fantasy.
the DLC, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've seen a lot of people play Vermintide 2.
Yeah. Chia. Looks like The Raft, but different.
It looks like someone trying to make The Raft but Moana style.
Yeah. We got a new trailer for the Suicide Squad.
That looks fun.
Yeah. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. That does look like a lot of fun. Forsaken. I don't know anything about this one.
Forspoken.
Forspoken? Oh, Forspoken. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys see this one?
No.
No. And it looks like a PlayStation exclusive, so it'll come out to the
It'll
come to PC in a couple of years.
I build this as the Super Geekgasm, but this is turning into the ruined Super Geekgasm.
Well, we haven't got the Star Trek yet.
That's on you, man. I'm not jacking it to these games, especially not this one. Especially not this one.
Yeah,
ooh, new Saints Row.
Now this.
Let the spice
it's only a
flow.
teaser trailer. There is no information, but it is a Dune RTS.
It's being made by Funcom, which are the people who have.
Damn, son.
I understand. Stop talking about it. It's being produced by Funcom, which is the studio that owns the IP rights to all of Conan at this point.
Yeah.
So I expect them to take this Dune a hell of a lot more seriously than I would just about any other gaming studio.
I'm very excited for this. So the last I played Dune 2K, I missed Emperor, but that I'm a big RTS fan. So this excites me. This excites me a lot. This is the Dune RTS is what launched the RTS genre.
Absolutely. It was the precursor to Command & Conquer.
Yes. So I'm really interested to see what they do with this. I don't know if Funcom has made any RTSs before.
They have a Conan RTS that is under their belt. I mean, they've got like 5 or 6 Conan games in their launcher alone.
I'll have to take a look at that.
But yeah, no, they went all out buying the Conan property. They literally have the licensed Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan music in Conan Exiles. So, yeah, I expect them to go like hard on making a Dune RTS.
I wonder if they'll try and acquire all the video game rights for it so they can make more.
Possibly, they might try going after. They might actually try and go after some of the original music rights from Kaplaki. God, I can never say his name.
Kilpacky.
That's it. For 2000, because like if you're listening to the Dune 2000 soundtrack, you're like, God damn, this sounds like Command & Conquer more than it does Dune.
He only did the Harkonnen track for Emperor Battle for Dune.
Okay, but yeah, I wonder if they'll go after those music rights and see if they can spruce them up or whatever.
Maybe we'll see. Son, I know you'll probably be a little ambivalent for this, but we've got a new Borderlands game, Tiny Tina Wonderlands.
So they're basically making a spin-off of the Wonderland DLC.
Tiny Tina's Bunkers and Badasses.
Yeah. It was really weird. That was a DLC for 2, wasn't it? I think it was 2.
It was a DLC for the pre-sequel.
Okay, so
you're right. It was 2 because it was Tina doing this game to come to terms with Roland's death.
Roland's death, yeah.
This was her method of coping.
It's weird because this was a DLC for 2, and then they literally yanked the DLC out of the game and made it its own independent thing, like an expansion
with its own Vault Hunters, its own story.
Yeah, and now they're making like an entire other series with it.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay. Still not buying in. So if it's Gearbox under that asshole who likes to scream at people and leave his porn at a Renaissance Fair restaurant, like, yeah, no, I'm out.
Randy. We're getting Among Us VR.
Yes, we are.
Who's ready to call everybody sus again?
I've seen a couple of images. I mean, I've not seen this trailer specifically, but I've seen a couple of images that I cannot share, and I kind of look forward to the VR experience.
It's going to be interesting.
I'll share them with you later, Ross, after the show.
We got a new. Well, I guess this is a boifu for Genshin Impact.
We got a new femboy for Genshin Impact.
Yep.
Oh my God.
China comes out with hey, no more feminine men, and then we get this.
Yep. Politics aside, yeah.
Steel Rising, a new RPG from Spiders.
That looks like a person who is either an automaton or just really, really, really cybernetically enhanced.
I'm going to say Victorian automaton.
Oh, so it's the Doctor Who episode. Okay.
Metal Hellsinger.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll go on to the one that I know you guys are the most excited for, Star Trek Resurgence. From the developers of Batman, The Walking Dead, and Game of Thrones, not Telltale, we are getting a point-and-click adventure game from former Telltale developers. About fucking time!
We haven't had a point and click type game.
It was called.
From
We have had a Star Trek point and click. It was called Star Trek Borg.
oh
Well,
yeah,
Before that, it was also Star Trek Judgment Rights, or 25th Anniversary, Judgment Rights, and
Starfleet Academy.
Next Generation of Final Unity.
oh no, Starfleet Academy was more story mode, like
That-
Klingon
Starf-
Academy.
Starfleet and Klingon Academy were focused on starship battles.
Yeah, well, there's story mode too.
It's interestingly enough, I know someone in your chat, Justin, said I thought it looked like crap. This is the Telltale aesthetic.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
This is the Telltale aesthetic.
I don't think it's the Telltale engine, but it's pretty close.
Probably not, but yeah, the art style is definitely there.
So I know you guys are the most hyped for this one, probably.
I'm just really excited to try it. I mean, I'll reserve judgment until I've had a chance to play it in my grubby little hands. But it's supposed to be Xbox, PC, and PlayStation compatible. So,
So
sign
what
me
you're
up.
saying is you're reserving judgment until you have the right to.
Right.
Hey,
Because
new
then
Star
I
Trek
will,
game.
but
It's a
only
good
then
game.
I'll have judgment rights.
There
Cha-ching.
you go. There you go. Rumbleverse looks like another Smash type game
Ugh.
with a vaguely Fortnite-ish characters.
Who's developing this? Who's the one that's making this?
It doesn't say. Let's see. Let's play the thing and see if it tells us.
Hmm.
Epic Games.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
Yep.
That
That's
explains it.
why.
A Plague Tale Requiem shorts. A Plague Tale is a very interesting looking game, but I never finished it. Kind of a
But see, Requiem is supposed to be the sequel, so this may be
Oh.
a short story before the sequel.
maybe. Dying Light 2. I was underwhelmed. No, wait, I haven't played Dying Light yet, not all the way through. But it was interesting parkour, open world survival with zombies.
Yeah. Oh boy, another zombie game. Just what everybody needs. We got zombies.
Crossfire.
You'll get caught up in it.
God damn it.
Look, that is. Look,
Son, why? Why?
You have to admit, if you grew up in the 90s, that was the best fucking commercial ever for a kid.
Yes.
Yes, it was. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunts.
That is in open beta right now on Steam as a that's a battle royale game. It is a Vampire the Masquerade battle royale, and you have vampire powers
Against other people with vampire powers.
against other people with vampire powers.
Okay. I guess that could work in the setting.
Mm-hmm.
And you level up to give you more vampire powers until you become the master vampire and rule them all at level 40. And then until the next expansion.
I don't know.
Lead by their DLC.
I'm going to skip GTFO for the other announcement that I am most hyped about, and that is our first
Other than
trailer
GTFO.
for the live-action Halo TV series on Paramount Plus.
Wasn't it GTFO?
Because I don't care
I'm
about
kidding.
GTFO. GTFO can get GTFO. We're talking Halo on TV on Paramount Plus next to Star Trek.
Yeah, I could see.
I'll give it a shot.
This trailer looks absolutely amazing.
I could see the appeal for folks who grew up with the Halo franchise. I've never played Halo, so. And I know I have to turn in my geek card for all of this stuff.
No,
No.
people like different things, son. It's okay.
I never owned an Xbox. I've never owned an Xbox, so there's no way I've ever played Halo.
So this isn't the first time Halo has been in live action. When Machinima was still a thing, they did a short series called Forward Unto Dawn in ahead of the release of Halo 4. Then there was the short series that was done about Spartan Locke and his foray to the original Halo that was destroyed, looking for a smuggled bomb device after Halo 4, but before Halo 5. And then there was the animated anthology Halo Legends, which was done in the style of the Animatrix. So
didn't one of those live action fan productions, didn't someone mention that a few of them were getting tapped for this?
I hadn't heard that. That's interesting.
I have to go check that out because I remember reading that somewhere.
But I am so hyped for this. What we saw looks amazing. Just the clips of what we saw, it seems to take place between the both before the first Halo game in the creation of the Spartans to after the destruction of the first Halo. I'm interested to see what they do, but I'm really, really excited for this.
Well, if you played Halo Infinite, the Halo's actually disappeared.
I haven't played it yet because I can't download it because my PC won't let me for some reason. I'm hoping to figure it out tomorrow.
I'll be on hand protect support.
It's gonna be cool. Rocket League, Ford Mustang Mach-E, and yeah, it's an ad in Rocket League.
I got one thing to say about Rocket League.
We got a story trailer for Elden Ring, the latest in the Soulsborne series. Does that interest you guys at all?
See,
Chill, Justin.
So my problem is I keep confusing Elden Ring for that fucking Amazon MMO that came out and is utter trash.
New Worlds?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, you hit Justin so hard he had to crack open a cold one.
Yeah, sounds like it.
No, I just know Smithy is he's a fan of New World.
See, that doesn't stop the economy from being fucking broken.
Yeah.
Now this looks fun.
The game had such a strong opening, but it tanked hard after that. We got a Matrix Awakens experience via Unreal 5, and apparently it is really something impressive.
Yeah, you can't tell the difference.
So Epic Games or Epic Studio released the Unreal Engine 5 a couple of months or so ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
And they've already been working overtime to shift Fortnite's Battle Royale into Unreal 5. And there's there's that and this, and then there's another game that is still in production right now, but they were working with Unreal 4 and immediately switched over to 5 to make sure that they were keeping up with stuff. But basically this is outside of Fortnite, this is basically going to be the first thing that runs in Unreal Engine 5, period.
Holy shit. It looks like it was lifted right from the original film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that the shading that is possible in 5 is beyond anything 4 could ever do. It's fucking amazing. I will give Epic one piece of credit in all the shit that they've pulled with their launcher and their games and all this kind of shit. And it's the fact that they know how to make a fucking game engine.
That is incredible. Not bad for offering it to people for free.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a walking simulator, basically.
Yeah. Then we got a clip for Matrix Resurrections, which I'm definitely hyped for.
It will be interesting to see if the weird theory that suddenly came out of one of the Wachowski sisters is finally if it's shoved in our face in this one or not.
What theory?
Okay, so the skinnier sibling made mention once or twice that the original trilogy, or that the original The Matrix movie was like kind of this philosophical magnum opus to them being trans, and everybody missed it.
I've heard that quite a bit.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been going, well, does that mean you're remaking this? Are you remaking the first movie to like literally push that home or not? Because like I'm fine with everybody missing like all of the philosophical shit because it's The Matrix and it's a great action sci-fi movie. But like, I understand you had like massive fucking feelings behind the first movie. I get it. Don't make this it's about being trans movie, because you will piss off everybody who likes it, especially me. And I'm one of those people that likes the deeper philosophical implications of the Matrix universe.
We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting for sure. I love this imposition right here. The Keanu Reeves in 1999 versus Keanu now. People says he doesn't age, but you can see it.
Well, he ages.
Arc Riders. Nah, EA.
I mean, what even is it? Is it the Tron bike game? I mean, it looks like the Tron bike game.
Yeah, it looks like the Tron bike game.
My God, Jesus. Oh, it's being produced by Nexon. Oh, of course it is.
PUBG is going free to play.
Okay.
It's about time. Oh, it's already been free to play.
Finally competing with Fortnite in that regard.
I mean, it's already been free to play if you played the mobile version of it.
Lost Ark.
Yeah, looks like that looks like Ion. It's probably an NCSoft game.
Isn't this one of those mobile games where you have to have like a bunch of different characters? I swear to God, I've seen this be a mobile game. Like, and you have to buy characters and shit.
Well, the engine certainly seems similar to a lot of different games of that type. That's why I said it looked like Ion at first. The armor designs are very reminiscent, although now it looks more like a Diablo clone.
Oh God, another mobile game. Is it?
No, it looks more like it looks more like a PC game, but we'll see. What the hell? Just a couple. That's a 2-minute trailer.
Just skip to the end.
Yeah, go ahead and skip to the end and let's see all the where it will be available or
Lost Ark.
Founders Pack. That's free to play. Play
Lost
free.
Ark.
Yep. Oh, but it's a PC game. It's on Steam and Amazon.
Oh, there you
go. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Man, they just can't stop selling Persona 4 stuff.
Nope.
No kidding.
It's a popular game.
Next.
Thirsty Suitors. I wonder what kind of game that is.
So it's the reverse of Leisure Suit Larry. Nice. It's about fucking time.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Next.
Next Initiative Signo. Synced? Off Planets?
Okay, don't know what the fuck this is.
About being a robot.
Oh,
must be. Of course it is. Oh, look, zombies. Oh, look.
Kind of reminds me of. Oh, okay. It does not remind.
So it's basically a post-apocalyptic techno version of Darkness.
I was about to say kind of. Well, no, maybe not. It's. I was going to say Anthem at first, but no, this is something different. Looks like nanotechnology run amok. I
mean, you remember Darkness where the guy had the snakes?
Yeah.
That's what this kind of reminds me of.
Oh, God.
Rockstar. I don't feel comfortable clicking that.
That's very chibi.
Yeah. Babylon's Fall. Looks vaguely Soulsborne. Kind of similar
boring.
to the other game. Another
cue snoring sound effect.
Okay.
Possessed by something.
Of course.
No, had their
it's a platinum game. Okay, now I'm
life
interested.
essences ripped out. That's what it was.
Now I'm interested. Platinum does not disappoint.
I don't know. Platinum can always disappoint.
They haven't so far.
That's the thing. They haven't so far.
I mean, Nier Automata, the Bayonetta series.
They still have the rest of their studio's career to fuck up.
Oh.
Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance.
Which was a lot more meme-worthy than it was a good story.
Yeah, but the gameplay was fun. You got to take down Metal Gear Ray with a sword.
Well, yeah, it's because you were literally just Gray Fox in the Raiden skin.
Yeah. Well, Raiden was pretty badass as the cyborg ninja in 4.
Yeah, I stopped caring after 2.
I stopped caring after none.
You Philistine. Planet of Lana.
Is Clark Kent in this one? No.
No, it looks like a survival game.
Another one of those.
Oh, there's always survival games. There's games of all kinds all the time.
Yeah, but I'm just tired of seeing survival games.
Yeah.
It's certainly taking its time, probably with an epic music suite. Oh, kind of reminds me of Journey.
It's certainly got that Journey / Borderlands feel to it.
Oh, look a
robot! Now I'm
robot.
getting a Inside, or what's the other one that was monochrome?
I don't know.
It was a horror side scroller. It was really good. I keep forgetting.
Oh, Little Nightmares.
No,
that and Limbo kind of reminds me of Limbo, but colorful.
Whoa.
I mean, it honestly does feel like Little Nightmares.
Have a nice death.
Okay, this absolutely seems like something that the Stupendium will enjoy. if not enjoy, at least be able to make a music video out of.
It's chibi Grim Fandango.
Oh God.
Yep, it's exactly Chibi Grim Fandango.
Well, there you go. I like how his phone is a coffin.
I kind of want one.
Mm-hmm. It also means the handling will be so much better on that phone too.
Yeah, this is interesting. A comedic take. Looks like Death's tired of everyone dying. Oh,
well, no. If you were
Metroidvania side scroller. Okay.
If you were reading all of that stuff, it was talking about how the Earth was overpopulated.
Well, I thought it said Death was overpopulated.
That's what it did say that.
It kind of looks like Dead Cells almost.
And that's it.
That's it.
Okay. That's it.
We survived.
Yep. I probably should have found a more curated list. Let's start next time. But there was some interesting stuff in there, stuff that I didn't see before. There's a lot of stuff to be hyped about.
Mm-hmm.
The Halo TV series, Space Marine 2, Dune. It's going to be fun. If I can afford it.
See, that's always been my problem. I can't afford.
I'm broke. I can't afford to have these games. Shit, I'd be lucky if I buy a game a year. Sometimes two.
A good chunk of those are on Game Pass, and a lot of those are indie games that cost a lot less.
Yeah,
Look,
but still, if I could guess,
again, I'd like to point out I do not own an Xbox at all whatsoever. So
can
yeah, but you can get Game Pass for PC now.
Yeah.
okay, well, I guess
Oh, yeah.
Microsoft really doubled down on their games for Windows if they're doing
Oh.
that, then, huh?
Big time.
Yeah,
Big
and
time.
you can also
It's-
play
though-
console games through the cloud on the PC if you have
Although
a
it's
controller.
not games for Windows anymore because Bethesda literally just had to update Fallout 3 to
Mhm.
remove the games for Windows lockout.
Yeah,
Just to
it's
get it working.
all Xbox. It's the Xbox app that you download for your PC.
I can't wait for the Xbox phone.
Coming next year to
Oh,
a pocket near you.
Definitely
right.
going to be better than the Edge, right?
Well, you can actually stream your Xbox console to your phone now through if you have Xbox Ultimate.
So that will conclude our coverage of the Game Awards and the many announcements and the hype and meh. That's
2 hours
that
and
goes with it.
15 minutes of geeking out.
Yes.
And now it's time for the accolades, Clarence.
Yep, it's time to bring things down a little bit with Sun's coverage of the ongoing saga of Activision Blizzard and more. So let's hear it, Sun.
Okay, so I'd like to start off the actor list this week by saying I did not watch the Game Awards at all for, principal reasons. And that principal reason is that Mr. Robert Kotick is a voting chair of the Game Awards. Like, he's literally on the voting board for the people who decide who gets Game of the Year and shit for the Game Awards. Yeah, the guy who runs the Game Awards hasn't said shit about the conflict going on at Activision Blizzard. Especially considering, Mr. Kotick sits on his voting board. So, there's another piece of downer news, which has always been there, but I don't think people really paid attention to. You know those little segments they have of voter choice things? Yeah, your votes never mattered. The wording in how they approach that thing is that the voting plays no part in or plays no sustainable part in who will win those sections because the voting board will vote. They just vote when the polling is done. So if like they have a who do you want to win, like sports and racing, and that's a poll that they put up. After that poll concludes is when the board votes on who wins. Now, generally, they do tend to lean into the audience polling. I guess it's a considered factor, but it's not an absolute factor. So that's all the people who complain about our elections and stuff. Yeah, that's going on in the Game Awards too. So there's that. I know, great way to stake your heart for what was supposed to be a nerdgasm, right? So, so there's that. So a lawyer this week is demanding over $100 million in compensation for Activision Blizzard harassment victims, and kind of went on a tear about how $18 million was absolutely nothing to be a setup, a fund that Activision Blizzard would graciously set up thanks to the EEOC. So, interestingly enough, this $18 million, I don't know how much of it is going to the government directly, and how much of it is going to compensate people, but it's not nearly enough to be. I mean, you're not even talking about this being a slap on the wrist. This is literally a just wagging your finger at Activision Blizzard, going, no, you shouldn't have done And so this lawyer is basically asking for $100 million for a compensation pool. Which, yes, please, thank you. I mean, at least that will be a start. Second piece of news this week. Did you know that Mr. Kotick sits on the Coca-Cola board?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, Mr. Kotick has a seat on Coca-Cola's board.
Huh.
And yeah. So Coca-Cola hasn't said anything. And now people are going, hey, Coca-Cola, do you have anything to say about this thing Mr. Kotick is doing with his other company, considering he sits on your board?
Let me guess. Silence.
Well, so far we've not seen anything, but it is these articles were released today over the weekend, so we probably won't see any official statement until Monday, if it's even remembered by Monday.
Yep.
So, yeah, Friday is the day stories are released to die. So, keep it in your mind that Mr. Kotick sits on. I'm still trying to find what board. Is it the board of directors or an investors board? And I can't find it. But no, he sits on the board of directors.
Oh
Go
boy.
figure. So come Monday morning, remember everyone, keep pressing Coca-Cola. I mean, if you're on Twitter, apparently Twitter is what everyone thinks. So keep adding Coca-Cola about having a statement on whether or not Mr. Kotick is going to remain on their board of directors. Given all of the shit that has been exposed that he actively participated in his other company. You know, Coca-Cola wouldn't want that staining their good name, right? Right? Yeah. So there's that. Then thanks to you guys, I've come across a bunch of people reporting today on, well, one of the former employees of Activision Blizzard talking about how in the early days, in the earlier days of Activision Blizzard, quote unquote, being accommodating to nursing mothers and setting up like breastfeeding rooms for them to self-pump. Yeah, turns out one of those workers ran into a string of breast milk thefts, mostly because they didn't have fridge rooms in the breast pump rooms. They didn't have fridges in those rooms. So any milk that they pumped, they had to take to a good God, what is it? It's like a break room. They had to take to the break rooms and put it in the fridge there. And yeah, so nobody knows if stuff was trashed or if it was stolen. But it did disappear. And there's the other case of breast milk being taken and then replaced by beer, which I still haven't found that one yet, but I'm finding more and more stories of just breast milk being taken. Period. So, yikes. That $100 million is looking a whole hell of a lot better, like, every step of the way. Let's see. The good and the bad from and these are articles just from today. Like just from today. And this one is about how the Activision Blizzard, like the little group that said they were going to start like the proceedings for becoming a union within Activision Blizzard. Yeah, and now we are seeing the what is it? The visible steps of Activision Blizzard working against them unionizing. You know, we talked about how Blizzard and Kotick hired Wilmer Hale, which is a known union-busting law firm. And now we're seeing the visible steps of Activision Blizzard working as a company against said unionization. So, yeah, that's pretty dicey. Not a happy week in Activision news.
A company-wide memo from someone who used to work in the Trump White House sent out to employees saying, "We understand you have begun the process of creating a union, and we respect your ability to do so, but you should understand the risks that you're taking in doing so, as you are removing your own individual ability to negotiate the terms of your employment and giving it to someone else, because you have so much power to do that on your own."
See, I really don't think the part of the Trump administration shit should be included, because there are people who were formerly Obama administration people who do this shit all the fucking time. Mm-hmm. And nobody brings that up. But it does win political points if you want to, hate certain group of people. I mean, you can't just hate a person because they're being an asshole. You have to tack on other people to hate them. That's weird. So, speaking of being an asshole, literally, and you'll understand why, because this is actually kind of horrific. A vigilante group called People versus Preds, which has their own Facebook, went after... They've been investigating certain illicit activities involving adult people and children. Yeah. Well, come to find out, one of the people they've been investigating and released this week the evidence of was that of a PlayStation Network executive. In which not only did they release the chat logs of him believing he was talking to a 15-year-old boy, when they showed up at his house with a camera, he was conveniently wearing a PlayStation 5 shirt. Yeah. So here's the kicker to all this. That's horrible. But here's the kicker to all of this. The gaming press went out of their way to not say dick about this story. They didn't want to cover it at all. In fact, there was a guy from IGN who on Twitter said, well, it's not a newsworthy story. I don't even know his name. It's not a newsworthy story. This is the same IGN that covered the Scott Cawthorn retirement. Scott Cawthorn, the Five Nights at Freddy's developer, who basically was forced to retire from making games because he donated his own money to Donald Trump.
He was looking for a reason to retire.
I'm sure he was.
The speed at which he did that, and the amount of he's had a lot of attention for a long time. And
you underestimate the overwhelming harassment power of the internet, though, because when that first happened, he was defiant. He said he wouldn't quit. It wasn't a week or two later that he said he was retiring. And I have to wonder how much harassment and nonstop threatening he was sent his way for him to make such a decision. But we're talking about a games industry, a games press industry, who will cover Scott's legal donation and won't say shit about a guy who thought he was going to have it with a 15-year-old boy. It wasn't until Sony themselves fired the guy the next day after all this shit was released that they covered it in any detail. And it was basically a fucking blurb that was copied and pasted on every gaming website. The same fucking blurb. It's not even a fucking article. Let that tell you how. Let that show how integrated the games industry and the gaming press are. Because imagine if someone from one of those websites actually ran with a story that was critical of Sony for having this guy on their team. Do you think they'd ever get advanced copies of anything from Sony ever again? Probably not. I mean, let's be honest. I may hate Jason Schreier for his political leanings all the live long day, but when he does good work, he does good work. He had an advanced copy of the Fallout 4 script leaked to him. He published it. It was newsworthy. Bethesda then said, "Okay, Kotaku, you never get an advanced copy of a game from us again." That's not on Schreier, and that's not on Kotaku. That's literally on you, Bethesda. You had the leaker.
Yeah, but retaliating like that sends a message and prevents anyone from publishing leaks like that again.
But that's the point of journalism. To an extent, that is the point of journalism, to expose the dirty laundry. Now, I get it. Publishing the story of an upcoming game, the script of an upcoming game, it's a whole hell of a lot different than, trying to tell literally your gaming audience that one of the execs at a company is a pedophile. But the fact that the gaming industry withheld illegal shit because of fear of possibly not getting a thing, that sends a stronger message to the people who read those websites.
Well,
At least it should.
One thing I think you should consider, son, is that the bulk of the revenue of games journalism is game reviews. That's the main reason why people use their services. And if these companies get booted from the advanced copy list, they lose out to their competition and they make less money.
That would be true if we were talking about this even 5 or 6 years ago. That's not true anymore. The bulk of articles that have come out of Kotaku and even IGN, I mean, even Game Informer articles within the past 4 and 5 years have been laced with such political leaning, just ranting bullshit. And it's because the review click industry was never that profitable. Not like the rage bait industry is. So you have a gaming industry that has moved on to rage bait simply because they will get clicks.
Just like the regular media.
Exactly. And amongst all of this, there was an article about some girl who was pissed off at, what was it, PlayStation or was it Xbox? I think it was Xbox. She's pissed off because there wasn't a warning on the new Xbox for the people who were like afraid of the holes, like the little hole things. There's a phobia in which, you ever seen that flower that's got the holes in it with the seeds and people think it's just creepy?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Okay.
You're talking about the holes in the side of the vents in the Xbox?
Yeah, because basically, the entire article was a rant how there wasn't a trigger warning that the holes in the side of the holes in the Xbox could cause whatever the hell that phobia is. And this is literally articles from like this fucking year. This is an article from this year.
You can see it on the box.
Yeah.
You can see a picture of the console on the box, on the stands, on everything Xbox.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say this person is smart. I'm just saying this is what the games outlets are publishing as journalistically worthy news. And yet the guy who's literally now been fired because he was actively trying to court 15-year-olds. Just type up a blurb because he was fired. Not that all this stuff was released, not that he now may face charges considering all the evidence that's been released from the vigilante group. No. Just give it a blurb because he got fired for this. Imagine if the media did that shit with Subway Jared.
Oh, that's heavy stuff.
Yeah, I told you. The act list this week was going to be, yeah.
All right. Trypophobia. That's what Dia says it is.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah.
All right. Anything else, son?
I didn't go and rewatch the video that I made all of this stuff off on, but in the same kind of dragnet sweep that People versus Preds was doing to catch the PlayStation executive guy, they also, I believe, caught a games journalist guy as well doing the same shit.
Jeez.
So all that Activision and Blizzard sexual harassment, it's not just Hollywood anymore, is it?
Nope, it's anywhere there's money.
So yeah.
It wasn't that long ago that one of the hosts of Rooster Teeth's Achievement Hunter got caught. That he was yeeted immediately, thankfully.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. It's trypophobia.
Trypophobia. Okay.
Yeah, it's TRYPO phobia. Yeah. But yeah, it's basically the fear of like many holes, and like, yeah, there's the.
I got a phobia. It's called timeophobia. As it's 2 hours and 36 minutes, and we really need kind of wrap up.
You have a fear of schedules?
Well, it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I'm the one harping on time here. What's going on?
I want to do a Florida Man segment this week. We haven't done one in the last 4 shows.
Yes.
Okay. Just right quick. Let me put this in the private chat because here's an image of that flower. Wait, hold on. That's the wrong link.
Ross, you can actually do this now.
Well, as we are, let's wrap up this segment. Thank you, son, for talking about all of the heavy stuff going on in geek and gaming.
There we go. That's the flower that's most associated with trypophobia.
That is a little creepy.
Yeah. And then there's the people who like they're the people who like they like Photoshop it on people's hands and shit, so it makes it even more creepy. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's yeah.
All right. Well, let's pivot from that and go into our final segment of the night, and that's what are we watching? Mm-hmm. Justin, let's lead on with you. What have you been watching?
Let's see. What have I watched this week? Not a whole lot, because I did the He-Man watch last week in Lost in Space. I am looking forward to watching The Expanse next week, and of course, watched Hawkeye this week, which we didn't cover because somebody is insanely busy and never has any time to sit for 5 seconds, let alone think for 5 seconds. Ross. But that's okay. We can always do a double. We can always do a double dip next week. Hawkeye, because I think next week's the last episode.
Do an entire series review.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. We can work on it. It'll be fine. Because we'll also be talking probably episode 1 of The Expanse. I think maybe will be a good thing for everybody at least try to catch. Ross. Looking at you. At least one of the episodes.
Watch Lucifer or not, man? I can only watch. There's only so many hours in the day that I can catch up on things. My list is long.
Just walk around as you carry the kid in one hand, you carry your phone in the other hand, or just get you one of those phone hats that you can just hold the phone over your face.
Do that at work, man.
If he's carrying the kid around in one hand and the phone in the other, that phone is going to be on cars with faces.
Well,
or Paw Patrol.
Or Power Rangers.
Or construction machines.
It's getting to that age, isn't it, Ross? Power Rangers is about to become a thing.
Yep, I'm looking forward to introducing him to that.
Yeah.
Introduce him to good shit. Just get to Disney era.
Or if you can find the entire series, introduce him to Big Bad Beetleborgs for me.
It was on Nickelodeon, or it was on Netflix for a while, and then it went off of Netflix, and I don't know what's going on with it since it's still owned by Saban and not Hasbro.
No, it's been sold to Saban.
Saban sold it to Disney.
To Hasbro?
To Hasbro.
Okay. Yeah, because they're actually supposed to be developing an original series for
Power Rangers. Power Rangers is now wholly owned by Hasbro. Okay, Saban is firmly in the B-movie and real estate markets.
Saban originally sold the rights to Power Rangers to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Disney basically failed every which way except...
Well, I mean, it's Disney. They had no business owning a Power Rangers franchise anyway.
Well, still, though, Disney is like the biggest franchise when it comes to marketing kids' toys. And that's what Power Rangers was. The problem was, people were watching the show, they weren't buying the fucking toys.
Well, the problem with the toys is that they never had any out anyways. They did them, but...
But see, as Disney got more and more frustrated, it started to show through in how Power Rangers was being shot. In which Saban literally went to Disney and said, I want to buy this property back. And Disney was like, okay, give us a couple of $1 million. Saban hands it over. Okay, cool. It's yours again. And then Saban literally goes to the toy market and says, here, would you like this property? Because Saban wants to do what J.J. Abrams always thought he could do with Star Wars, and it's make money off the fucking toys.
Well, it's now strictly Hasbro. Instead of ripping off the Super Sentai shows, they're actually going to create their own unique franchise, which is going to be interesting to see how they pull it off. Considering everything that's been done possible has been done in some form or another.
But see, that's the other side of such a thing.
Let's watch the Kaiser.
You have Hasbro kind of back in the game of what they used to do in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Make a show and sell the toys for it. Like all the He-Man shit. That was what, Hasbro, Mattel, all that kind of stuff.
That was Mattel.
That was all Mattel.
Yeah, but
let's still have a few He-Man Mattel toys somewhere.
If Hasbro can pull this off, like with like what we saw out of G.I. Joe and He-Man and She-Ra and all that kind of stuff, if Hasbro can pull this off with Power Rangers, it will prove that the market may have the tastes of the market may have changed, but the application of the marketing hasn't.
Well, we'll see. I'm hoping
that you can still make the show and then sell the toys for it and make money off of it.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you there is a clause in whatever contract that Saban made for selling the property that he gets toy royalties for.
Well, they're still selling remakes of some of the older toys.
Oh, absolutely. That's because
last time I was in Walmart, I saw the old action figures that you press a button and the head flips from the helmeted to the unhelmeted versions.
Yeah,
of the original MMPR Rangers from when I was a kid.
They're still selling them. We're selling them packs, and they're going through all of them.
You know why, Ross?
Nostalgia.
It's because we're adults now. We have even more money, supposedly.
Yeah,
It's
tell
not
me where
just
it is.
it's not just our parents' wallets that we're raiding anymore.
Yep.
If you want to buy a Megazord for $500, you can buy a Megazord for $500.
Anyway, let's get back to what are we watching? We want to do Florida Man, right?
Yes. Well,
Son.
that's straight off in the left topic.
Well, finished the Flux, Doctor Who's The Flux this
Oh,
week.
I forgot about that one.
You forgot to watch it, or you
No, I forgot to mention it. Did you
First of all, I will state once again, as I have just about every fucking week, where the hell was this Chris Chibnall for 2 fucking seasons?
Where the hell was this doctor for the last 2 seasons? Jesus, I got serious Matt Smith vibes, and
all six of these episodes were written by Chris Chibnall. I think only 1 or 2 of them were also had an additional writer. But where the fuck was this Chris Chibnall for the past 2 seasons when even his own other written stories didn't do this shit? Because it seems like a hell of a way to piss off a lot of people to give Jodie Whittaker her best doctor before she leaves.
which is what they should have been doing the whole fucking time.
Who knows? Something changed in between then and now.
Yeah, they told him if you ever want to work with us again, you better fix your shit.
Such a dramatic shift, though. Something had to have changed. Something
They made it either that, or they made him sit down and watch what has come before.
There are. Well, see, that's the thing. Chibnall is like not Matt Smith. The other guy. Oh God. The other lead writer, the past lead writer, the one that we just left. He had Smith and Capaldi under his belt.
Moffat?
There you go. That's it.
Oh, Ross got it.
Moffat and Chibnall are both classic fans. And one of the best issues of Moffat's era was what was that episode? The Night of Silver Blood or something like that, in which he had that was like that museum with a classic Cyberman and a whole bunch of other aliens and shit. That was one of his better episodes. And here you have a 6-part series with the classic potato-looking Sontarans. And I mean ugly, gnarled-ass Sontarans. Look like somebody dragged them out of the fucking 60s with the Third Doctor and Unit
and crapped them out.
And said, let's put them in new armor. Let's give them let's let them keep the ugly ass faces, but we're going to touch them up so they look even more like fucking potatoes.
Pretty much.
Chibnall is amazing at writing classic Who in a modern style. He is horrible at writing modern Who, period. And this proves it. Because there's even a point in this series where Unit being formed is one of the scenes. So there's literally a voice clip, because it's all they could do, because the guy's dead. There's a voice clip of Lethbridge Stewart behind a fucking door yelling at people. Guy writes classic Who in a modern style. And he was asked for 2 fucking seasons to write modern Who. It didn't work. And you said something big must have happened, Ross. Something big did happen. And I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember if you were here or not. The BBC basically gave up production rights of Doctor Who to God, what is his name? Russell T. Davies production studio. Russell
Wow.
T Davies is now going to be producing Doctor Who going forward, and the BBC is going to be handling international distribution. And when they were questioned, when the BBC was questioned about it, the press person who was talking about it said no, and then basically proceeded to say the exact same thing, just in more flowery letters. We are handling the international distribution of Doctor Who. That's not a denial that you don't have production control of Doctor Who anymore.
All right.
Yeah, I pray to God we keep this level of Doctor Who going forward.
I mean, one could hope, because holy fucking shit.
And
What?
that aside, Ross, don't watch Lucifer. I say this solely because I want you to catch up and finish Lost in Space.
And Doctor Who.
As much as Lucifer might be something you enjoy, I think you're going to find a whole hell of a lot more enjoyment out of Lost in Space, considering where the third season goes.
All right. Well, thank you, son. As for me, the wife and I finally finished Manifest Season 3. And wow.
A few moments.
And wow, just wow. The show takes the mystery and the stakes behind the mystery and just keeps amping it up over time. That and how badly the main characters get screwed at the end of each season. There were some pretty serious character deaths in this season, especially in the final episode that just left me floored, as well as a story twist that nobody saw coming, and leaves on this cliffhanger that leaves me chomping at the bit for more, but I don't know when that's going to come. I know a fourth season is coming.
So what you're saying is this was a twist even M. Night Shyamalan didn't see coming.
What a twist. But it was very good. It was a very good series that just left me chewing on my nails, wondering what was going to happen next. And just the loose threads that they left to be picked up at the next season.
Okay, so I have to take a moment and be honest with you all. I did not watch Manifest because every time I think of the word manifest. Okay, so the Christian Broadcasting Network, right? They had, I shit you not, they had one of these biblical prophecy shows, and it was called Manifest with Perry Stone. So I literally can't think of Manifest without thinking of this really scraggly looking nerd guy talking about biblical prophecy like he's trying to be some weird mix of Carl Sagan and Bob Ross.
There is a fair amount of religious imagery, and
no doubt. It sounds very witchcrafty.
Yeah. It is heavily implied that what happened to the passengers and many of the events that come after is divine in nature. And the nature of there is a lot of people doing research both in archaeology, literature, mythology, and science that's trying to explain what has and what is happening to mixed results.
Well, remember, the original angels don't look like the angels we have depicted today. They look like
something out of Lovecraft.
They look more like beholders from Dungeons and Dragons.
Also, there was something that I was thinking of that I wanted. Oh, yes. Speaking of Power Rangers, A few
God.
months ago, I talked about the Kickstarter campaign for Legend of the White Dragon.
That was one of those exclusive premieres from the Game Awards.
No, it was not.
Mhm.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it was
Nope.
not.
Okay.
Bat in the Sun is a very small film production company that doesn't have the pull and influence with big productions like the Game Awards.
And
Oh,
fun
okay.
fact about this particular one is they crowdfunded this a couple of years
Yes.
ago. They started
Yes.
to, and then it didn't make their go. So they redid the campaign and came back with one that they used for the campaign that they did get crowdfunded.
This is
It was able to pull it off.
This is all small scale word of mouth and social media product or marketing. It's damn.
This is why you need water.
It's headlined by the original Green Ranger, David Frank, and produced by Bat in the Sun, which is a former Machinima production studio focusing on live action. Their flagship series is called Superpower Beatdown, where they take two superheroes, they choreograph a fight, get them into costumes, get them to a basic film quality, and then have the heroes fight it out and resolve the fights based on popular vote by the viewers. In the past, they've
They
done-
actually do both sides of some of them, I guess. But
and then
yeah.
release the one that didn't win on their Kickstarter. They did Scorpion versus the White Ranger, also headlined by Jason David Frank. They did Batman versus Darth Vader.
Ryu.
They've done Wolverine versus the Punisher. They've done all sort, and they're still doing stuff. They did a short Batman fan film called "Dying Is Easy," where Batman shows up to Arkham Asylum because the Joker says he has information on a string of murders. And it's not an action film. It's a battle of wits between the Joker and Batman, and it's really, really cool.
It's like the interrogation scene from Heath Ledger's Joker, and that was like the most interesting thing out of that whole thing was just the interrogation scene, and everybody was like, man, you could make a movie out of that. So they did.
That's exactly what they did. They did a 45-minute film. And it was cool. So that's what I watched this week, aside from my usual YouTube stuff.
Sweet.
So I'm really, really looking forward to Legend of the White Dragon. The trailer looks great. It's all over the place.
Tiger.
What the White Tiger? No, it's White Dragon.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
White Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks awesome. It's like if you made a Power Rangers fan film in your 20s, if you wrote a Power Rangers fanfic in your 20s, it's so much.
Or-
it looks like a lot of fun. Everyone's
As
seeing.
our good friend Carlos Pedrazzi would say, fan wank.
Yeah, it's all
I need, to
fan
actually, I need to actually get him to record him saying that just so I can use it as a sound clip.
So, okay. Has anybody heard anything from that Chinese, like small time Chinese studio that's making that Wukong game? Okay,
Not a
'cause,
few.
like that's something I'm still looking forward to. It's like the weird stealth actiony power pole Wukong game.
Nope, no news on that yet.
Okay.
All right. That will wrap up the main show. Stick around if you want to listen to some of the weird and wild news from Florida Man and beyond. But for now, this is the end of the Real Super Geeks podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight as we talk, geek out, and whinge endlessly about geek gaming and all the other stuff that we love to talk about. My name is Ross. You can find me if you're watching on Twitch. You're already in the right place. Twitch.tv/live_love_play. Justin, where can people find you?
Twitch TV, _separate.
Son, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Sunseal. I play games generally Sunday and Tuesdays at about 3 p.m. Central Time. Well, you generally go for about 3 hours. So, yeah, catch me.
I haven't been able to stream much in the last 2 weeks because of aforementioned illnesses, but hopefully I'll be back tomorrow night to continue painting these little guys and maybe play a little Phoenix Point. We'll see.
After you fix your computer.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Once again, we'll see you again next week. But until next time, remember to live, to love, and to play every day. Son.
And remember, sweeties, you are all loved and appreciated by just your being you.
Justin, play us out. All right, that fully concludes this episode of The Real Super Geeks, and now it is time for Florida Man, the wild and wacky stories from Florida and beyond. Son, I presume you have one ready for us?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
So, you're, okay. This is a wild one. Florida man is hired by a housing authority or homeowners association. That's it, HOA, homeowners association, to sedate and remove geese. But after eating bread laced with drugs, the birds are paranoid and scared by a loud car horn and fly off. 10 instantly lose consciousness from the leap to flight, fall into the lake, and drown.
Oh!
Homeowners Association pissed at Florida man, and the Florida man responds with, "Everyone hates the dog catcher in the neighborhood. It was just a bad situation." Which he's not wrong.
It was a pretty bad situation, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure he used like the normal shit for sedating geese, you know, and just it's like hiding your pills in the dog's peanut butter. You know? He hid the sedation drugs in the geese bread, and yeah, they fly off from a car horn, lose consciousness because of the blood pressure differentiation from taking off. Yeah, fall in the lake and
Florida man.
It's been a while since we heard that one.
Yeah, it has.
Oh yeah.
Welcome back.
What is this?
This seems like something. Oh, that's a month ago. Let's sort that by the week.
What happened?
There we go.
Wow. Okay. Here's a lucky one for Florida man.
Bring it on.
Florida man borrows $20 from a friend, wins $1 million on a $5 scratch off.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching indeed.
Mm-hmm. And still, he only owed the friend $5.
Florida woman arrested, accused of breaking sink in Irish 31 bathroom during an intimate encounter.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I'm so glad he had that ready to go.
Yeah, me too. That's perfect. Yes?
Florida woman on probation accused of attempting to set her ex-boyfriend on fire.
No, you're a liar.
Easy. Those are all copyrighted, man. Florida man uses flamethrower to settle parking dispute.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Excellent.
I didn't want to get involved in that one. I'd have to bring up Elon Musk and his boring company.
Yeah, that hasn't gone anywhere.
Actually, that company is actually still working.
Really?
The whole point of the boring. Okay, so the whole point of the flamethrower was to generate revenue for the boring company to literally be a boring company, like boring, as in
like
holes.
digging a hole.
Yeah.
Last I heard, their only gig was digging a hole underneath the Las Vegas Convention Center.
They have that, and they have one for a ring in California, like from San Fran to San Diego to Los Angeles.
Oh,
yeah. So basically, like a super loop is what everybody's been talking about.
Yeah, if they can get the Hyperloop going.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, outside.
Here, I'll help the ambulance.
Okay, I'm going to have to read this one, and for this, it will be the announcer voice. Man known as Jean-Jacques the Cock facing 3 charges. Boca Raton, Florida. From the BocaNewsNow.com. A man who links his own Pornhub channel on Twitter spent a hard day's night in the Palm Beach County penal system following his arrest on multiple charges. Patrice Thibodeau, known as, we're serious here, Jean-Jacques the Cock, allegedly vandalized a car in the area of 1200 Northeast 5th Avenue in Boca Raton. When police responded to the scene, Thibodeau, a.k.a. Jean-Jacques the Cock, allegedly had a performance issue. He wouldn't come with officers. Thibodeau, 33, on the unit block of Northeast Spanish Trail, was arrested with charges of resisting an officer with violence, property damage, criminal mischief over $200 but under $1,000, and resisting an officer without violence. We are sharing his public Twitter account, where he promotes, again, we're not kidding, the Penizer. It'll be up to a judge to decide what penalities, if any, he'll face on the alleged crimes. And that's the story.
I whip my penis back and forth.
And also to go with this,
it has a 9-inch corkscrew penis.
Penalty.
Stop talking about pigs, Justin.
actually, the dogs have a corkscrew penis.
Yes, but so do pigs. I mean, it would be obviously the furry knows what animals have what kind of penis, right? So here's something. A Florida man opens a gift shop. I can't really tell. I've still been reading I'm still confused by this article. Florida man opens up t-shirt shop, causing stirring controversy over t-shirt shop's name. T-shirt shop's name? Big Dick's Salty Seaman. Interestingly enough,
I whip my penis back and forth.
This story, this name has a story. So a guy named Richard Dick was a rather tall man and kind of opened up a restaurant and gift shop in the Ozarks, right?
This can only end bad.
Made a bunch of money, retired to Florida, and then was nicknamed the Salty Seaman because basically he owned a boat and shit. So he was always at sea, and apparently he was very, very, very vocal about things he did not like. So naturally, a guy who knew him decided to name a shop after him. And it's a t-shirt shop. So there you go.
All right. I can see where the issue with that name would come from, though. But hey, if it works. Florida woman breaks through fence and drives through golf course after being chased by cops.
I was going to make a joke about getting away with more holes than a golf course, but that seems kind of rude. Also, I can't mention that one. Not going to mention that one. That one's just fucking creepy.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah. Is it the toilet one?
Florida man selling a toilet shaped like Metallica drummer Lars Ulrich.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Oh, shit! Come on, Justin. You have the toilet one. You have the flushy mode.
I do, but not on this one. Oh, wait. I do have it. That's right.
Well, the moment's passed.
That was the bidet working.
Florida man tased after jumping railing in court during wife's sentencing. Let me see if he was celebrating or pissed. Deputies inside. This is from the Free Press. Just the Free Press.
Mm-hmm.
Deputies inside the courtroom had to deploy a taser after Florida man jumped the gallery bar and attempted to make contact with the defendant, his wife, on Friday. On Friday, during a criminal sentencing proceeding was taking place at the Charlotte County Justice Center for Crystal A. Carrasquillo, 24, when chaos ensued. Crystal was charged with cruelty towards a child and aggravated child abuse, a first-degree felony. Yeesh.
Yeah.
Several members of her family, including her husband, were present in the courtroom. At one point during the proceedings, Gregory interrupted by standing up and requesting to speak to the judge. Bailiffs asked Gregory to remain seated, and he complied. Crystal was sentenced to 10 years in the Department of Corrections. As the judge read the sentence, Gregory stood up and jumped over the gallery bar, attempting to make contact with Crystal at the defendant's table.
Oh, dear
Bailiffs
God.
intercepted and restrained Gregory, who proceeded to resist. At the time, one of the deputies deployed a taser, successfully contacting Gregory on his lower body. Gregory then complied and was placed under arrest on one count of resisting without violence.
What a
If only
dumbass.
they'd done this shit to the prosecution in the Rittenhouse case when he aimed a gun at the jurors
Yeah.
with his finger on the trigger.
What a dumbass that was.
Yeah.
No wonder the case got thrown out.
Yeah, the prosecutor did not do a very good job in that case.
Prosecutor needs to be fucking hung out. Nope, stop.
No,
Stop,
yeah,
Stop,
yeah.
stop,
no.
stop. Nope, not going to go there.
Just mute yourself.
Florida
Justin.
man.
Just
Florida
mute
man.
yourself.
Tased and arrested would have been enough. There you go.
Florida man can. Next.
I can't cover half of these. They're about murder.
Oh, damn. Well,
Florida woman sells Nazi gear at Biketoberfest. And well.
See, that's...
But see, that's not illegal, though.
No.
No, but it's just not going to be a popular thing.
Of course. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop anyone from selling it, and it doesn't stop anyone from buying it.
Oh, here we go. Lighthearted one. Clearwater police full of 5-foot snake from Florida man's brand new couch.
Yep, I just found that one.
Wait, what was it again?
Go ahead, son.
It's a jungle out there. Clearwater police pull 5-foot snake from Florida man's new couch. Brand new fucking couch.
There's
5-foot snake out of it. I mean, this just seems like normal. This just seems like normal political bullshit. It's just got Florida Man attached to it. Florida Man tries to extort Florida Senate Democratic leader with nude pictures. Well, if she's got nude pictures running around, yikes.
Florida man arrested pleasuring with a pickle in a most peculiar place.
Mm-hmm. This seems like, okay, this is a repeat offense. This is a repeat offense because this dude was arrested for doing it before.
Yeah.
I remember those fucking eyebrows.
Hard to forget that.
So you gotta wonder what that sounds like, because doing it with a pickle. I mean, come on, seriously.
Okay, no. Okay, that's kind of uncalled for. No, it's okay. I can excuse the whole him pleasuring himself with a pickle because like women and cucumbers, and that's a whole fucking joke unto itself. The fact of this being a Florida man story is that the guy has like bedazzled eyebrows. I shit you not. He like literally rhinestoned his fucking eyebrows. That's why I say this guy is a repeat offender, because I remember this being a headline from like 6 months ago.
Yep. Well, that's everything for the week on my feed. How about you, son?
Let's see. Okay. Florida woman, looks like a grandma, who bit and choked an Uber driver gets 18 months probation.
Okay.
Yeah. The pictures of this incident, I don't know if they are real or they're just I'm going to okay, this is actual fucking footage. Okay. This lady fucking just this old lady is literally just wailing on this fucking guy. Holy shit. My God. What did he do?
No
If
idea.
we can't display it, we'll pop it on a Trello, or we'll put it in the link to it in the comment section so people can click and view on it themselves. If we try to play it in video, Facebook will probably slap us.
Oh, I mean, Facebook or hell, YouTube, we're already going to slap us for like the 3 seconds you played of Darude.
No, they won't. They'll just do what they do with other stuff.
Trust me, those systems are automated enough to do that.
Yeah.
They haven't yet. And we're going to do it. They would have done it right then and there. I've been watching.
All right. Well, anything else, son?
I mean, wow. Okay, there are two stories here.
Okay.
I'm going to say the kind of feel-goodish one for last. So this is the weird one. This is probably one you might want to read. I don't know. Armed Florida man starts a 3-hour standoff outside UN headquarters in New York City.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's quite a headline.
Yeah, that is quite a headline.
Yeah, there's also pictures of the NYPD SWAT unit there and everything. Like, holy fucking shit. So
yeah, that's you'll draw attention to yourself, that's for sure.
The other one, I guess the more upbeat one. I thought this was it. Florida man rescued from capsized boat describes harrowing ordeal. He survived.
Good.
He was saved. So yeah.
All right.
Some feel good in the midst of all this weird bullshit.
There is plenty of crap in the world, but it's important to remember that there is good in the world as well. For as much as is foul, there is much that is fair.
Mm-hmm.
And it is important and vital to remember that.
Yeah, and see, that's the other thing. as much as we may see of the bad, good deeds rarely go noticed. So just because you don't see them does not mean that they are not happening.
We covered
Right.
we covered a lot of heady stuff today, but we covered plenty of good too. So
that being said, Florida man arrested after exposing himself at McDonald's drive-thru.
drives up to the drive-thru, whips it out. Sir, this is a McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I whip my penis back and forth.
That's what I was waiting for.
That will conclude tonight's episode of Florida Man, the wacky and wild stories of Florida and beyond, and the full end of tonight's episode of The Real Super Geeks. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you again next week. Have a safe and healthy weekend. Good night.